All right.
All right, we'll see.
Mm,
Cool. Think we're good.
cool. All right. Bet everybody ready? Everybody plug. Oh wait, I'm the only one on mobile, so I'm the only one that has to worry about my fucking batteries all over the place. Fucking my AirPods, my phone, like shit is critical out here.
Three,
But yeah.
two, one, play.
Oh yeah.
All
So
right.
so as of right now, it's still just you, Will, in the chat. Oh wait, who's managing chat?
Who's managing chat? I feel like Boy does a great job of that, to be honest with you.
I can
Well,
do it.
okay. I mean, wait, who was doing it last time? Leo, right? Or the last two times?
I was.
Yeah,
Was it
but
Leo?
Leo
Leo's
is like
doing
flip.
everything.
Leo's
Thank you.
that, and he's flippant. So
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I've got the chat up, so whenever you're ready.
all right, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Social Distance with us, the Hearst Boys. My name is Rainey. Running the stream remotely, we have Leo,
Hello.
and by Will, the
yo,
Meg of the group because he's from Queens and nobody likes that. So,
There's nothing wrong
so,
with Queens.
Everything's wrong with
nothing
Queens.
wrong with Queens.
Everything.
Nothing.
so, for the first time ever in this entire podcast history, even from back when I was doing it by myself, which was an awful idea. For the first time, we have a guest, and a very special guest by the name of Jacob Messer. His Twitter handle is at CrzyFingers with no A, so CRZY fingers. He is from Hawley, Pennsylvania. Did I pronounce that right?
You did pronounce that right. You're good.
Cool. And Jacob here, also known as CrzyFingers, is a fighting game competitor, spectator, an analyst who posts frequently on YouTube. I don't know how frequently, but you'll find out when you get there. You can find videos on the FGC mentality by searching Fighting Game Unedited or just searching CrzyFingers on his YouTube channel. And Fighting Game Analysis Live Twitch channel at CrzyFingers, also with no A, just like his Twitter handle. Jacob, thank you for pulling up on such short notice.
No problem, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah,
Is this guy
so,
like famous or something? Like, am I missing something? Did you just
home.
like hit me with that after we go live?
Well, no, well, that's how you intro a person on like a talk show or
I love
whatever.
it. I love
No,
it.
yeah, that's perfect.
Thanks. Yeah, no matter, I don't know. I feel like with me especially, like I want to look back on content from like a year ago and not cringe. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I want to make sure that it's all up to par and I put in my best.
Yeah,
effort.
nothing worse than just
You know what I
looking
mean?
back like a few years ago and being like, "Oh, I hated me." That's great.
Yeah, like
I
that
felt
shit.
that.
By the way, for any of our viewers, the 4 cameras you see now are all of our Hearst Boys members. CrzyFingers is joining us through audio only, so any disembodied voice you hear is going to be Jacob. So that's just to clear
It's
anything
just my
unclear.
conscience.
Yeah, my conscience is our next guest.
Yeah.
Jump.
Yeah. So so let's get the dark shit out of the way first. Today's COVID-19 update. NYC on pause extended till April 29th. Remains April 30th on a federal level. So basically, what that means is, for people who don't know, is most federal government doesn't affect most people. The government that affects you the most is on a state by state level. So up until today, NYC on pause was up until April 15th, and it was the 30th on a federal level in the first place. So that hasn't changed, but it was extended to the 29th today because they are seeing a very, very, very rapid rise in cases in New York City alone. So does anybody want to talk about their experiences with this, how they feel about this? Maybe Jacob, if you want, you can sort of start with how things are over there where you are. 'Cause I know you don't live in New York and you're over there in Holly. So
Yeah.
how are things there?
Over here, like things aren't like super strict. Our governor's actually been kind of half-assing a lot of stuff because he's like, "Oh, we recommend you wear masks," and he's not like wear masks.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of like, you know, oh, voluntary curfew, voluntary mask wearing, and it's like you still have people who are out and about in pairs, like not
Yeah.
distancing each other themselves. We don't have a ton of cases here though, so like.
Yeah. I was gonna
It's
say
kinda
I've never heard of Hawley. I mean anyone from New York, if they've ever set foot in Pennsylvania, it's either Philly or like the Poconos or something. Like
Yeah.
So
I've been
I mean,
New York.
what's the
I DJ'd in New York once. That was cool. It's got like a
Oh yeah,
little young community there.
Lancaster is actually pretty dope.
Yeah, there. I've been
Cool.
there too. It's pretty chill.
cool. Well, what's Hawley like? Like what's the because I'm assuming since your mayor is, like you said, half-assing it or whatever. I guess the population density isn't so like
Yeah,
crazy over there.
basically, we're just like we're a tourist town. We have, if you've heard of, we have a lake called Lake Wallenpaupack. You might have heard of that and not of Holly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But basically, all of our like income comes from tourism, and so when there aren't any tourists, there's no one here.
Oh.
everyone either
Okay.
everyone either like has like you have like rich people who have homes here but don't live here kind of or you just have the general community. The community is like pretty small. We have a lot of stuff here, but there's not really many people. I don't even think there's even been a single case in there might have been like one like an hour away, but not in the town. So yeah. It's kind of like smaller.
Okay.
When it's like during the summertime, it's a lot of people, but this year I'm having a feeling that's not going to be the case.
Yeah. Would you say that so would you say that maybe, maybe your mayor's kind of lax attitude about it is probably pretty warranted?
Yeah,
As
a little
opposed
bit.
to
Yeah, it's just the thing that I have a problem with it is that like when you have that kind of attitude, it kind of like spreads down to on like the civilian level, and then you have people who don't take it seriously. Like even though there's not a ton of people like here, and you don't have any confirmed cases, you should still be careful. And I feel like people are a little not careful, which is kind of bothersome. But again, there aren't a ton of people, so. And no real issues have arisen from that.
I see. Yeah, it's not like here where, every other day somebody on the timeline is posting about how they either have it or have lost someone to it.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So the shit is scary as hell,
It's getting
like
closer to home, for sure.
Yeah.
It's
I think
on the internet because we're all kind of affected at the same time in a sense because
Yeah.
it's our little bubble. So
Right.
yeah, especially if you're like in a lot of the same social circles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you follow all of the same people and your TL, like if your timeline is all of the same people following each other, then like everybody sees everything, and it's like it like makes it twice as impactful because it's like, oh shit, this is affecting this person that may not necessarily hang out together in person, but are still all part of this social like, this little niche of mutuals like on Twitter specifically. And I only say Twitter because it's the platform that I'm most active. But I know like boy, I know you're on Instagram probably a little more than you are Twitter, right?
Yeah.
But that's mostly for like music stuff and everything because I think it makes more sense. Like Instagram as a platform makes more sense for the music stuff, I feel like.
Yeah, Twitter's definitely more accessible to your thoughts, I think. I mean, of course, it's a picture. Instagram is mostly photos and videos, so it's kind of more left for people to either be creative or just kind of share something funny versus, Twitter is more word-based. So a lot of people go there, I feel, more to express how they really feel in paragraph form. So it's a little different as far as like how somber it is, but everybody on Instagram is just kind of either sharing challenges or just stuff to pass time, just funny stuff. While we're doing that on Twitter too, definitely, it's just more room for people to see what's really going on, So.
Yeah.
I just find it like funny whenever I sign into any timeline that I'm on because I'm active on like Facebook and Twitter the most. But whenever I'm on any of them, just to synchronize like hysteric cabin fever that we're all going through at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
Back to some stuff from the chat. I see Papa Riggs here. He says that his wife's cousin is a teacher in the city, a student. She lost her brother and her father already. We also have Black Sheep in the chat who says it's got their uncle. So the losses are definitely being felt in the community. So express,
Yeah, Jesus
well
Christ.
wishes to you guys, man. It's tough to go through that. So
Holy fuck. Yeah, holy shit, I am so sorry.
Like, they were not joking when they said that there's going to be, everybody is going to know somebody who suffered a direct loss from this.
Yeah, I think the projected like mortality rate was like it was projected to be like 1 million Americans.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
most
it was
of
a
that,
really, really big number.
yeah, which is insane. Like, because I mean, most of that is probably going to be here in the 5 boroughs. But and I was looking at some of the numbers earlier, and it's interesting to me that as of right now, I think, or as of the last time I checked, because the numbers are always changing, but I checked like this morning. As of this morning, I think Manhattan only had like 8,000 confirmed cases. Confirmed is a very important word here, by the way.
Only yesterday, like yesterday alone.
No, this morning.
Oh my god.
I think it was 8,000, but either way, it was less than the Bronx and Brooklyn and Queens. And then I was like, how the fuck can that be? Manhattan's one of the most densely populated boroughs, like in the 5 boroughs. And then, but then I remember that
populated.
Yeah, it's so densely populated when people have jobs.
When they
you know what I mean?
To the city, that's what it is.
Yeah, and a lot of those apartments sit empty because they're luxury apartments owned by rich people who never go there.
For sure.
So
that's
they all go to like freaking Woodstock or the Hamptons. Like, that's where, because I work in a I work in a building.
Woodstock?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Honestly, believe it or not, Woodstock is a lot of rich people have houses out there. I work in a building in Brooklyn, and all my residents dead ass just fled upstate to just like quarantine themselves away from the city itself, and that's where they all went.
Yeah, places like Beacon, New York up there. It's like places that are like along the train line, like the Hudson especially. Like, a lot of people just kind of go north to get the space that they need, because the big problem here is just how we're all kind of packed on top of each other, so it's easy.
And by all, it's literally mostly like people in the lower socioeconomic plateau.
Yeah, people lower on the, of course, people below the poverty line.
Exactly, because everyone who's like commuting now, they're going to work. There's nothing they can't avoid not taking the fucking train, so it's like a whole issue.
Yeah. By the way, Leo, you're coming in kind of low.
Oh, I am.
I don't know if that's just me though.
I think it's just you. He sounds crisp on my end.
Okay, cool. Then never mind. It's just these shitty AirPods. But no, I'm just kidding. They're great.
We're all practicing social distancing. We all. I feel like a lot of communities have managed at least to find a way through this, like FGC doing like the online tournaments, and then a lot of people doing these podcasts like this, or just meetups and hangouts. So everybody's just trying to find creative ways to kind of get through it and get past it. So shout out to
not go crazy.
To all of us figuring it out.
Yeah, it's I also I mean I bring this up constantly, like all the time, everywhere, but like it's a major part of my life now. But I'm a dad of 2 young sons, so like that is a whole other like thing, like if, by the way, shout out to Liv's Learning Tree, who remains open. Liv and her mom Lynette run the daycare that my son goes to, and they are super hardworking. Like, they care so much about what they're doing, and they stay open through all of this. And like, they have no idea like the invaluable nature of their business, and like how much easier it makes it for me to sit in on stuff like this. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel as bad when Francesca's with Griffin, who is a little easier to manage and entertain, because since he's almost 6 months old, as opposed to Godric, who's 2, and like, is sort of cultivating a mind of his own at this point, and like literally does need like, attention and activity more so than Griffin does. So shout out to Liv's Learning Tree for staying open through all this.
That's great, man. That's super great. Like that's fantastic.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
Yeah, like
I'm fucking.
I
I'm gonna show
couldn't
her
imagine.
later. I'm gonna clip this part and like post it on Twitter and tag her.
Yo, shameless plug-in.
Yeah, right. But yeah, Liv's Learning Tree is in the Bronx. If you want to drop the kid off there, they're still open. But yeah, yeah, so okay, so let's move away from like the dark stuff and just a final point.
Coronavirus.
How has this changed you guys like daily? So like for me, it's much harder to entertain my oldest. It's much harder to entertain God because Griffin is a simple kid. He's 6 months old. You just make a funny face and he laughs and he has a good time. But for me, like I'm thinking of ordering like basically building an indoor like playground for Godric because we gave my sons the bigger room and it's huge in there. Like that one room I think is probably just as big as the living room I'm sitting in.
Right.
Yeah, so there's definitely enough room in there. And it's like going to the store is like it's like kind of freaky now. Like going to the bodega deli.
Yeah, it's like some post-apocalyptic like shit out there.
Yeah. How has it affected you guys? Because now the guy behind the counter at my store, he has a mask on. He has 2 masks on. He has a bonnet.
Wow.
He has gloves and he has like a protective plastic. Like he has a shield at the counter.
Yeah, same at mine. Mine is directly under me, so my bodega is attached to my building, which is cool. But like it's kind of interesting. Like they have like this plastic going across the whole thing, and then they have like of course limited entry. So like, but it's weird. Like my area, they really don't kind of care about a lot of this stuff, which is a little frustrating. Like right now, there's people outside blasting music, hanging out. Like they don't really pay much attention.
Shout out to your mic, because I don't hear none of that shit.
I'm really glad. There's literally like 2 cars parked outside blasting like Bad Bunny and just chilling, like they're all like lounging on the car, and that's just kind of how my neighborhood's always been. They just kind of ignore everything, which is a blessing sometimes, but it's usually not good. Like now, but with the way that the businesses in my area are handling it is they can't really enforce rules. Like they try to put stuff on the floor that say 6 feet apart and stuff like that, but people don't really pay attention. They don't look down ever. So like it just gets to a point where like I'm in the store buying something and the guy's just like yelling at everybody else like, yo, I gotta go outside, come back and that's like a constant thing.
I think that speaks to marginalized communities in general. You live in the South Bronx. That's the poorest district in the entire country. Not to put you on blast or whatever, but like marginalized
has the highest
which is
rate.
funny because there's there's like 5 blocks in the South Bronx that are probably one of the richest one of the neighborhoods with the highest rent in NYC. I think it's what's that little neighborhood that's being mad gentrified? You just cross the highway right there in the South Bronx.
Haven or
it's like it's called the Hub now, by the way. It's like where all these lofts are.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It's like literally like you go from like super poor area to like you walk 2 blocks and it's like where the fuck am I in the Bronx?
That is a direct consequence of redlining.
Oh,
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. It's a matter of like when you're part of a marginalized community like that, like I think it comes the ignorance is like it's not lost on me because I get it because we're all from that, you know what I'm saying? So like it's like when you're in a bad place, it's like how much worse can it get? Mm-hmm. So like I don't give it's a pandemic, who gives a shit? I'm 2 months late on rent. Like, you know what I mean?
That's what
like
another thing.
It's not it doesn't justify it. Yeah. So like it doesn't justify it, but where like it's different when you're coming from there as opposed to like what social distancing. Give me a break. I live on 36th Street and I'm gonna walk Sharpay if I want to. Like, you know what I mean? Like
that was a good impression. That's exactly how they sound. I've heard them before. I've taken the train. So once upon a time when I was taking the train, I've heard something like that.
Oh fucking God. So Jacob, how has this affected your daily life, if at all? Because I like you said before, you live in a pretty touristy part of the state, and there
Yeah.
isn't much going on otherwise. So, has it really affected you at all? Or?
It just I've stayed inside more. That's really it. Like
Yeah.
because I'm fairly paranoid. I don't feel like having anything happen to me.
Yeah.
So and plus I don't live alone. I live with my sister and my brother because right now my parents are in New York, helping my grandfather out with his situation. So right now it's just me, my brother, and my sister, and we just kind of stay inside. We go out like every once in a while to like there's a store down the hill that I live on that I can go pick up anything that I need. But really, right now it's just more staying inside than anything. Not much has changed for me.
How are resources in your town? Like, can you still get things like cough medicine or like milk or something, like water? You know what I mean?
It depends on the time of the week because there will be like a certain time of the week in which people like run out and then they go out and they're like, okay, I need this. But eventually they restock like pretty quickly, so I usually can get whatever I need unless it's toilet paper. In that case, for some reason, people think toilet paper you can just eat it eventually when you run out of food. So
quick comment. I think
there's just not a lot.
I think I figured out why everyone's buying toilet paper. So I ran out of coffee filters, bro.
Oh god.
And what's a great alternative? Toilet paper. I figured it out.
He's right.
Dude.
No, it's not.
Yes,
you just
are
gonna
you crazy? I'm never buying coffee filters ever in my life. It's cheaper probably to buy toilet paper. I'm using toilet paper as coffee
The thing is, coffee filters are also an alternative for toilet paper.
Oh, you're changing the game. What is going? Someone take notes.
I mean,
what is going on here?
So just buy all of both.
I wouldn't recommend it for you hyper wipers out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
My
hilarious.
God.
I'm just gonna run through a pack of coffee filters in a day.
Yeah.
Can I
So
take a quick sec to read some chat real quick.
Yeah,
of course, go ahead.
Because we have RJ Onyx who is telling Rainy to teach Godric Smash because Little Fingers won't be able to handle the combo.
That's a good one.
He'll tire himself out. I know we're bad at it, but I figured I'd share that. That's pretty funny. Papa Rick's in chat. He says nothing's changed on his end. He's just afraid to go outside. If they bring COVID home, their wife and kids are at a huge risk.
That's another thing. Like people who work have family at home, like that are also in
yeah,
jeopardy.
shit is real out here.
So what happens then? They're like, are they like what? Like he can't stay home and not pay the damn rent, and he can't leave, and
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, certain people are fortunate,
sure.
Depending on the job. But somebody like me, I'm fortunate in certain aspects, but not so much in others. So like, I take my blessings as they come. I take the L's with grace. So
Right.
I'm good. It could be much worse is what I'm saying. Like much, 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 much worse. But I am not working right now. And my job is quite literally the opposite of social distancing. Like I tattoo people. I'm in people's face for a living. So like my shit was not finished. Even if we were open, I'd be like, you are out of your fucking mind. Like, I quit. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I don't know. My barber texted me like, yo, I'm still like giving haircuts. I'm like, bro.
Yo, give me his phone number, bro. I'm out here wolfing.
Shit.
I don't know,
Black Sheep in the chat has a positive note and says, been working out for 3 weeks straight. I wake up feeling alert and more energetic all day.
Nice.
I commend you, Black Sheep, because I really tried that and it's not that easy.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I thought about trying it, and then
I've been working
and
out
then
for
I
like
did it.
I was like, nah, I'm good.
Wait, what'd you say, Jacob?
Instead, I tried it for like a day, and I went, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. See, I tried it. I bought a bunch of stuff to do it at home. I tried it, and I hurt something, and I said,
"Oh, my back."
Okay. No, here's the thing.
My neck.
I was doing like so I have a kettlebell, right? And I was doing an arm thing with the kettlebell, and I hurt my lower back. So I said, I clearly don't know how to not be not strong. So let me continue being not strong.
Bro,
So I'll be fine. Like
I knew it was a dub because I throw out my back getting up in the morning, dog. It's like how you expect me?
Yeah.
How you expect me to get swole on this in this quarantine?
Yeah.
That's another thing. Some positive things have come, from this thing.
Yeah,
lower carbon emissions.
Like
a lower carbon footprint on humanity.
Like the
Yeah.
podcast we're doing right
Like
now.
the podcast we're
Exactly.
doing. That's right. I gotta get my priorities.
Yeah.
I gotta get my priorities in check. Obviously.
No,
food
but-
comes
It's
first.
like, yeah, not sustainable Earth, our
Right, right.
podcast.
Podcast.
Priorities.
Exactly.
No, but some people are really dragging it, and they're severely like misinformed, and it's really sad to see that shit go down because somebody was like, Venice, I think that's the sinking city, right? In Italy. Yeah. So, so Venice, right? The water's much clearer now. You could see the fish, like the water's so clear. The swan, it's so lovely. Wow, look at what happens when in just a day pollution.
We're
has
the
dropped.
real monsters.
Yeah. Yo, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. Most of those boats are tugboats and rowboats. You have to put a stick in the water and physically push the boat forward.
So much pollution,
or pull
man.
it back.
People are like
Right?
shitting in the water while they do it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's going on?
So, but
Like
here's
just
the thing.
bare-assed in the water of Venice.
People's understanding was, wow, these boats, like Dr. Steve Brule said, wow, these boats, they are leaving all this pollution, but it's not pollution. The boats just cause the dirt at the bottom to move and rise. So that's just the dirt from the ocean floor rising and making the water appear.
That shit came with your
muddy.
Xbox.
Yeah, the shit came with you, bro. And people want to get on their high horse, like, wow, look at the planet we are the problem.
I
The
mean,
planet
I
is
will say
resetting itself.
the carbon emissions in China did drastically drop.
Drastically.
But the minute them assholes came out of hiding, bro, that shit went right back to where it came from, bro. It's like our
It just
ozone
goes
is looking
to show,
safer.
bro,
Nah,
we're more than capable. We're more
give
than
us,
capable.
yeah. No, we would have to cease to exist in order to repair this shit. All
Literally.
right, so it's not we're capable.
Literally.
Like,
We're gonna have all of boys' neighbors out there fucking ruining everything.
Don't even get me started on my neighbors, man. It is the most frustrating thing I've ever witnessed. No
So,
one's paying attention.
So on a more positive note, since we were on track to that anyway, the Switch, Nintendo's dominance during quarantine. I think it's all due to one title in particular, and we all know what that is.
Doom Eternal.
Yes. Yeah, Doom.
you goddamn right.
No, so Jacob chimed in. Are you playing Animal Crossing at all?
I am not. I don't even have a Switch.
Oh shit! Oh, there go boy right
Good-
now.
Good luck getting one right now, too.
Exactly.
Dude, Animal
Fucking
If you're willing
day after
to-
it came out, TL exploded with Animal Crossing. I was like, well, that's not what I'm doing during quarantine.
Yeah, yeah. So I think
instead we're like planting and doing stupid.
Exactly.
Like,
Yo, we
shit, yo,
should-
you got 30 iron nuggets?
we should all be in the lab for real. Like on our main games, we should really all be playing.
Yo,
But,
who's gonna
Excuse
chop
me, I've
these
been labbing
trees?
for the last 3 fucking months, man. I don't want to hear it.
Like, listen, bro, I ain't gonna stop my 5-day streak on using the Nook machine, all right? I need those miles, bro.
Speaking of labbing, I got a new toy for labbing. I think
Uh-oh.
the
nice.
Spice Orange GameCube controller. So I'm
I
gonna
like the wording.
Fuego.
Thanks.
Fuego.
Yo, let me borrow that.
you
I'm gonna
bugging. I'm
need that real
not
quick.
giving it nobody. It's an official, like it came with the console. So this
Yeah.
thing is actually like 20 years old. So we'll see. Like already the shoulder buttons not great, but also the 1Z button, I completely forgot that the original GameCube controller only had 1Z button. But otherwise,
Right.
I do like how it feels, because the feeling of a brand spanking new controller out the box is kind of awful. I don't
It's
like
fucking
it.
horrible. It's not useful.
All
You gotta
stiff and
wear it in.
weird.
Like you gotta like break it in. Bro.
Yeah, you got to know your controller. You
Yeah,
know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like,
But
yeah, so-
my question is that because the GameCube controller is just a bad controller?
No. The
No.
GameCube controller is the most
Hot take.
it's the best controller
Hot
of
take.
all time.
Hot
You're
take.
wild.
The
now.
stick face rain he
all
just
time.
gave was fucking priceless. He said, nah, nah, nah.
Hot take.
You're wild enough. You're wild enough. This is literally. First of all, aesthetically, yeah, garbage. This thing is ugly as hell.
Ugly.
But
Comfort?
ergonomically,
Woof.
like, are you kidding me, bro? Are
Yeah,
you
like
joking?
Fire, bro.
ergonomically it's alright, but it's like I feel like
What?
outside of the face
He
buttons,
doesn't play Smash.
the trigger buttons feel like you're syncing and you have to press them all the way
Oh
just to get a
my
fucking input
God.
out.
Sorry, you
That's
did so
like,
much work.
I
to put
blocked that shit.
to
I
put a
blocked that
centimeter
shit.
of your effort. Oh my God.
I gotta read your move 3 seconds ago to get that
Oh
block
my
in, bro.
God.
Come on.
So Power A fixed this. Will.
Yup.
So look at
Tell
this.
them how it
Look,
is.
you see that?
Oof.
You see how far down? You
That's
see
the
how far
difference.
down? Look at it.
Yeah.
Look at this.
All right, but
As
you
opposed
want
to
to bring
mine.
up Power A? Is that the wireless
Boop.
joint? Is that the wireless joint? Yeah.
Boop.
Yeah. You know what? I don't have to deal with that, but I have to deal with the fucking input delay on that bullshit ass controller.
Oh,
Get out of
it's-
here.
But
it's
you
actually-
can put
it's actually
shorter
top-
bumpers in wired
It's
controllers.
actually
that way.
this lags actually less than the officially licensed Nintendo Pro controller.
fact.
You can Google it.
Fun
I
fact.
don't use
Google
I
it.
don't use the Pro controller
has-
either.
I can
That-
tell.
they,
Pro controller
all
has-
trash.
Pro controller all day.
The Pro controller has 8.5 frames of lag.
How
Fucking
many?
crazy.
That's a
8.5,
lot
I
of
swear
damn
to God.
frames.
Ah!
That's
Damn.
that's a
Damn.
whole game changer, bro. So
Maybe I
swear
can
to
wave
God.
dash now.
Yeah, 5
I
seconds
have-
ago.
Yeah, this has a whole frame less, which is a lot. Like
Bro, I
It's
play
not-
Animal
it's not a
Crossing
lot.
with a GameCube controller.
it's
bro.
not a
Listen.
lot in real time, but it's
Yeah,
a lot.
that's
as
the
like
thing. I
mathematically. Yeah.
was at your crib like 2 weeks ago, bro. I was at your crib 2 weeks ago playing on that shit. And it don't work.
That don't sound like social distancing. Will you? Was
That
at
don't
his
sound
crib
like-
2 weeks ago.
Whoa, hold on,
Wait,
hold
what
on. I'm
was-
about to put
Yeah.
you
What
on
was
the
2 weeks
fly.
ago?
I was gonna say,
SpongeBob police
Yo,
memes.
I've been
about to expose.
I've been stuck indoors for so long, bro. I don't know what day it is. You gonna quote me on my time?
Bro, yesterday
Bro,
it
there's only-
was like March 28th. I woke up today, it's like April 6th, bro. I
Look.
was like, what the fuck?
look, man, there's only 3 days of the week now. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. That's it.
Pre-COVID days.
There's only 3 days of the
God,
week
he's
now.
right.
Yeah. So
Yo, like Papa
so
Rick
yeah,
said, the
so,
controller is more. The Pro controller is a lot more comfortable, though. It is.
Yeah, nah,
I
it's
don't-
it's comfortable.
It's comfortable.
I-
I just feel like I
it's
could do more
comfortable,
combos
sure.
better on GameCube on the traditional GameCube controller. That's all.
Of
That's all.
course,
if you want to
because the
lose,
button
you can
layout.
use the Pro controller for sure.
Yeah, the button layout is made for Smash.
Oh,
The
for
main
real?
button you
Right.
use is the
I-
biggest button.
I just feel like
you know.
Yeah. I just feel like anything's better than using the fucking raggedy ass Joy Cons that I be using because I'm too lazy to put that shit
Oh,
on my.
Tried
Bro, you
playing
gotta,
Dragon Ball
you
and
gotta be top
Joy-Cons.
10 with the Joy Cons, and then you'll be known for like as the Joy Con man.
I'm trying to be like Luffy, bro. Get that PS1.
Literally Nintendo Luffy.
Yeah,
Guy
For
will
real.
smash at Evo.
Papa
with
Rick-
I'm gonna get a Nintendo 64 plug-in for my Switch.
Yo,
And take
low
Evo.
latency-
That's fucking
low
hilarious.
latency, fucking low latency N64 battle pad.
Yo,
Yo, what the
chat,
fuck,
the
dude?
chat
God.
saying that Animal Crossing is their actual like daily reminder of what day it is. That's mad funny. That's true.
That's
Animal Crossing be
crazy.
telling me what day is it, what time it is, bro.
Leo,
Be
stop
like,
lying. You
yeah.
time travel.
First of all, let's get it popping.
Oh,
Let's
It's
get it popping.
2060.
He just
It's
triggered-
2060 in your
he just
game,
triggered
bro.
me, bro. All you time
traveling
travelers
Animal
out there,
Crossing?
y'all
Yo,
ruining
he
the game
time
for me.
traveling, bro. I went to
this guy is a
Son.
phony.
No, I
Yo,
don't.
son,
Wait, so
I
don't
went to
time
his
travel.
island and it was a direct scene from Akira the movie.
so wait, is Jacob? Does Jacob even know?
I
Jacob
know
know what
I
we're
know
talking
about the
about?
time traveling. I'm
Okay.
aware.
All right. Let me
Okay.
refresh your memory, Jacob. Time travel is for losers who want to
Mhm.
break the game, break the experience
Yeah.
of the game, and they have nothing to live for. Like they want to fast forward everything. Oh, you plan something right now, you just travel 2 days ahead of time. You got your pairs, right? Loser
Yeah.
mentality. All right.
Yeah.
Wasting
Yeah,
my
I
I
time.
mean, I
feel
agree.
I feel
Well,
like
first
Wait,
of
you
all,
do?
yeah.
I think it's okay. I'm just joking.
Settings for Animal Crossing.
It depends on the player.
I don't
Yo,
know, I feel like
one net. That's
One
it.
net, bro.
One
Yeah,
net.
just one flimsy net. That's
I
it.
have a good tip though. You guys should buy as many turnips as you guys can. Then time travel as fast as you guys can. Buy 1,000 turnips and time travel, and just time
Don't-
travel to the day. Time travel to the
Don't
day you want to
listen
sell
to
the
him.
turnips.
Do not listen to this ass face.
Trust me. Just
if,
click.
if you buy a turnip and time travel
lying.
just like a minute to the past, they will
it'll
rot.
Bro, the game
Yeah.
doesn't know that. Trust me on this.
They will rot.
They
If you
won't.
go forward, just as long as you don't go past, if you don't go to the next Sunday, because if you go to the next Sunday, it will
Yeah, they're
also
gone.
rot.
So I bought I think I bought 600 turnips, and I
600.
yeah I
I
bought
only bought
600 turnips.
150.
This fucking chat.
Well, the reason I bought 600 is so that I can sell 100 a day if it's higher than the price I bought them for. So I can sell 100 that day, but then wait till tomorrow in real time, by the way, not time skipping. So
Oh my
I
God.
wait until
Yeah.
tomorrow, and if the price is better, then I sell 100 more. If it's not, then I hold my 100 and then sell 200 the next day. If it's still not better, I wait the next
Wow.
day. Still not better, and then by Saturday. If it's not better
You have
than
to sell it.
Monday,
You have to. No, you can't.
I'll
'cause
sell
you,
the
No, because
I'll
Monday.
sell my stock.
They'll whatever. They're
It's
what do you
like-
call it? They'll break by Monday.
They
What do you
don't-
call it? They'll spoil.
They'll break by Sunday. They'll spoil by Sunday.
Yeah.
They'll spoil
Yeah,
by
that's
the
why-
next
Oh,
the
okay.
next turnip
Time
buy.
she sells.
Yo, Black
yeah.
Sheep has.
Yeah,
been
that's why.
dying.
But that's why I buy. That's why I buy
Bro.
600 of them.
Bro,
So I
you
sell
know,
100 a day.
Animal
Fill that.
Cross, like time challenge for people who play Animal Crossing. They want to just speed run. Like, oh my God.
Speed
Oh,
run
speed
Yo,
run
for
any
real.
speed run any percent.
Yeah.
The current record holder is me. 400,000 hours.
Yo,
Let's go. That's any
Yeah, I
percent.
just,
Don't get me started on the 100% completion.
I just watched a really cute video on that there. I don't know if you guys saw this, but like a year or two ago or something. CrzyFingers, let me know if you saw this, but there was this video of this grandma who got 3,500 hours on New Leaf on 3DS. Did you see that video?
No.
Yeah, it's this guy.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yes,
he's like
I saw that
filming his
video.
grandma.
It's so cute. Yeah.
You saw it? He's
Yeah.
filming his grandma,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, oh, grandma, what is that? What are you doing? He's like, oh, it's Animal Crossing on 3DS. Like, how many hours do you have? It's like that many, and it's 3,500 plus hours. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Fucking
insane. So
crazy.
I saw this video where they gifted her the Animal Crossing bundle, like for the Switch.
I didn't follow through with the
Yeah.
story, so I don't know. What
Oh.
happened.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah, they
better.
gifted her the
Oh
bundle,
my
and
God,
like,
it gets better.
so she's on New Horizons now, and she made. It's so funny. She made a character with like silver hair and like a grandma sweater. It's like cute. It's the cutest
Oh
thing.
my goodness.
That's so
That's
awesome.
awesome.
I think
Super
that
cute.
beats out that old Asian woman playing Street Fighter once a day to practice her Raging Demon.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah, I remember that. That was cool.
I didn't hear about that.
It's a video. It's just the little cute old lady like playing on the monitor. She's just going, and you hear her on the fight stick tapping, and then all of a sudden she hits the Raging Demon, and she's like,
Yeah. The Switch is pretty like. The Switch is surprisingly popular with like the elderly.
It's
Come
just
on,
super
surprisingly.
accessible.
Come on,
Yeah.
Nintendo's always kind of been like
It's
that, I think.
Nintendo. They know what they're
Yeah.
doing. Come on.
Yeah.
They know
So I
what
think
they're doing.
Nintendo is, I guess, in a very dark way is seeing a lot of the good side of this whole pandemic situation because their numbers are skyrocketing. You can't find a Switch anywhere. I mean,
For
you
sure.
can. You can find them at Target.
Yeah, hop into one of these guys' houses and you'll find.
Yeah. You can find one at Target, but if you're at Target, you're not breaking quarantine, and you know what I mean. Like you're not
Yes,
gonna
you
break
are.
quarantine and
I'm
defy.
going grocery shopping, bro.
Yeah, for a
it's
Switch.
not essential. Don't go.
It is to keep your sanity intact. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's facts, bro. That's a Fendi, like Barack.
In the words of
Yeah.
Barack, Fendi.
I miss
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can't even find them at Target anymore. Actually, like they're really like sold
They're
everywhere.
dead ass. So the only things that are available, I think, the lights.
I mean, no, the light is so. I went into Target the other day because Griffin needed diapers,
Ooh.
and I walked by the electronics, and there's no joke, like 6 of them in the display. So,
Wow.
and then somebody on Twitter was like, "Yo, the Target on 225th still has like a ton of them.
Regular Switch?
So regular. So people, not the Animal Crossing bundle or the Lite, just straight up regular Switch. So like,
Yeah.
Yo, that's
so
crazy.
I think it's because people, when they, they're going into Target for essential,
That's another thing. Like,
I feel like
a
those
lot
are
of
probably
people
back
aren't even-
stock.
what was that?
No, they're the newer box. So
Oh, okay.
like they're the
Literally,
the reissue.
Right now on Walmart, if you were to search a Nintendo Switch, you only get the UK version, and it's $584.94.
Oh
That's
my
crazy to me.
god.
That's
Yeah.
on
Well,
Walmart's website.
Well,
It's
hold on.
insane.
Check the seller, because Walmart has the Amazon approach where you can
Oh, they
post
have
shit
other
on there. Yeah, yeah.
Sellers, Nintendo UK. Oh,
Oh wow, holy shit. Well, it's
Well,
it's probably more to ship it over.
Yeah, and it's not
You
region
think?
locked, so if you guys are like desperate, it works. I mean, right? The Switch isn't region
Yeah.
locked. if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
but I ain't trying to drop like half a grip on a goddamn gaming system that isn't a PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
I mean, with the money you're probably gonna save on rent, you might as well.
yeah.
Nah, they still got my bum ass paying for rent.
For real.
Speaking
Yo,
of
who's gonna pass
PlayStation
that
5,
legislation, bro?
speaking of PlayStation 5, just a bonus topic I want to throw in there really quickly. The Last of Us 2 fucking delayed indefinite.
Hey,
So-
hey, it's okay.
Good.
It's okay. It's okay. As long as they take their time,
That's
Rainy.
fine.
Rainy, I know you.
Good. That game was mid.
What?
Oh no!
Wait,
Oh
wait,
no!
no.
Bring
we don't
out
have to
your
wait.
pitchforks.
We don't have to waste our time. Let me just kick him out the chat real quick.
Yeah.
We don't have to waste our time.
What the fuck?
What the
That is
hell
the
was
hottest-
that?
I'm joking.
No,
I'm
you're
joking.
not, bro. No, you're
That is
not.
the internet. You
Nah, I
played
did. I played that game
Yeah.
like 3 times. Don't fuck with.
Oh, alright. You played the remastered
Played it 3
version?
times. Whole time, man. This shit sucked.
All 3 of them.
This just
I wish I had 2 more hands so I could give it 4 thumbs down.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
okay.
but what do you think? I mean, what do you think, Jacob? I want to hear, because I know what all these guys think. We talk about this. We talk about
All
The Last of
damn
Us
time, bro.
all the time. What do you think of it being delayed indefinitely? Whereas other platforms are releasing content, other people, other YouTube channels, movies, games are dropping this with the knowledge that people are home to watch and play these things.
Yeah, it's a really
So,
weird
like-
timing, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
it's like, okay, everyone's home. The amount of people playing video games has definitely gone up.
Yeah,
Let's just not make this game.
yeah, yeah.
And like and not only that, it's like one of the most anticipated games of the damn year.
Yeah.
You're talking about a sequel to one of PS4's like hallmark
All-time
titles.
Yeah,
Crown
seriously.
Joy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah.
Last of Us.
I think it's like the Hallmark title.
I would not like. I wouldn't disagree with
Let's
that.
not do that.
Nah, it is. It is.
I think so. I
It
think
is.
so. What else is there? Fucking Jack and Daxter? Give me a break.
At this rate, God of War, Uncharted. I feel like
come
Uncharted takes more
on.
precedence.
God of War got sucked into oblivion, bro. Fuck that.
What?
Fuck it.
God of War won Game of the Year.
It was really good.
Bro,
You
who
schmuck.
voted for it? Because I sure as fuck didn't. Who voted?
Yeah,
Who the fuck?
No,
That's a
God-
whole
God of
different-
because
War
you don't
was
know
a
a
game.
good game if you were fucking strapped to a chair playing it, bro.
Yeah, God of War is a super good game. I think for when it came out, like if you didn't, like, The Last of Us did that thing where like if you didn't have a PS3 by then, The Last of Us was the reason to get a PS3.
I could not go anywhere on the internet without hearing about that damn game. The
Yep.
entire even like a year after it was like out and about and everyone had beaten it 38 billion times. Like the game impacted it so much
Mhm.
about like gaming storytelling and stuff. And so when you have the sequel that everyone's waiting for and they
Literally
hyped it up so much.
They sure
like
did.
Yeah,
holy crap, they have hyped this thing up so much. And then it's just like, yeah, we don't know when it's going to come out now.
yeah.
That's a
Good
everyone-
question. When was it
everyone is
supposed to
waiting.
release?
This month? Right?
Um,
Last month?
yeah, no, this month,
Yeah.
this month,
Oh,
because I have it
also-
on my list of 1 month later stuff.
But also this, I feel like this is also the same month as the like fucking Prodigal Son returning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But the indefinite status makes it really fucking awry. But I could imagine like postponing it a month because of like Final Fantasy VII.
yeah,
But
I guess Animal Crossing is a pretty scary phenomenon.
yeah, but Nintendo games get like wrought over all the time. It's like, yeah, Animal Crossing's here, but there's
oh, hold on. They get wrought over all the.
You're
But
bugging,
nothing,
bro.
no, nothing,
What's
nothing
good
has
with
the,
this
nothing
man
has
today?
the.
shut up.
What's
Shut
Nothing
good
up.
has
with this
the-
man?
nothing has the visceral following that Animal Crossing.
You're
Oh
And
no!
bugging.
By all means, by all means,
and I
I
didn't know
agree.
about it. I didn't know about it because this is my first fucking Animal Crossing game. So
Yeah,
naturally,
same.
I'm sure we all do this. When you get into something new, you go down that YouTube rabbit hole and you learn every
Yeah.
possible
Yeah.
thing about that thing. So I watched like a history of Animal Crossing like video, and like the drops like alone, like it was like the hype like rivaled Smash.
Yeah.
Like Animal Crossing crowds got loud like Smash crowds.
Nah, it definitely passed. Smash.
The last Animal Crossing game that came out was in 2012.
Yep. But
That's
they made
8 years
an
of
app.
waiting.
They made an app like a year ago, Pocket Camp or something like that, which I
Yeah,
played
the
for a
Pocket
while,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
really good,
Mhm.
by the way. Which is like
Yeah, but it died quick.
It died
you know,
super quick. Like it died
in-
within like 2 months.
That's
In-game
not really
purchases.
Nintendo.
Yep,
In-game
yep.
purchases, bro. It'll always kill it.
Same thing with Mario Kart, the
Yeah.
mobile one.
Yo,
But
they
But they
dropped
just added
the ball.
multiplayer.
They dropped too late. Too late. They added multiplayer way too late.
They're trying to revive it.
They dropped the ball on that
But
one.
see, my point is like with Nintendo games, no matter how high,
Mhm.
there's still going to be something that just like kind of surfaces over it. Yes, this game broke like record numbers, but at the end of the day, something within the next month is just going to completely ride over it. Is what I'm saying.
I think
for-
usually
Yeah,
that
do you-
is the case, but
Yeah, I mean these communities
you-
there, but you can say the same thing about like Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter makes mad bread too, and they have these communities, but they still get the minute it drops, like everyone's like, "Oh fuck yeah, this is out." A month
Do
later,
you think that like
shit.
do you think that it has a lot to like? Do you think that the numbers have? I mean, this isn't even a question, more so a statement. Like the numbers have a lot to do with this whole situation. You know?
Oh, most definitely.
Absolutely.
Well,
Somebody just said that
for
in the
sure.
chat too.
for sure.
It's
Papa Rick
it's
said
that, but also like me working for GameStop, I was there when New Leaf had come out, and it was actually surprising to see the amount, like how packed that store was, that small ass store in like Rego Park,
Mhm.
Yeah,
for just this 3DS game. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
hadn't seen this other than for like when Smash Brothers Ultimate had come out.
That's
I mean,
a
well,
not
think of
Ultimate.
it this way.
Pardon me. 4.
Think of it this way. The first Animal Crossing was on GameCube in 2002, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, we're in 2020 now. There have only been like 5 games. So
Yeah.
because I think Animal Crossing is designed, like it's designed to be played over
for
years
years
because
bro.
it's-
The replayability of
it's
that
in-
game?
because it's in
There's no
real time,
replayability.
you know what I
You're
mean?
playing it
constantly,
Yeah.
right?
entire time, bro.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I think
one of
that's
those
the
titles
definition of
that's
replayability.
like meant to like it updates in real time, and that's why I think a lot of people, especially like non-gamers, right? Like people who don't play anything. But I'm changing Griffin, by the way. That's why I'm giving you guys my back. But
It's all good.
I think people who don't have like the room per se to dive into something like Skyrim, right, or something
Yep.
like an MMO, like Final Fantasy 14 or like Phantasy Star or Dota 2 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like so whatever, like some shit that requires a lot of grinding and a lot of time. Animal Crossing is perfect because you can play legit 2 hours a day. Once in the morning to check what the shop has, to find your money hole, plant your money tree, to hit the money rock,
Yep.
and then once at night to
Catch
to try your
tarantulas.
luck catching tarantulas and make wishes on shooting stars and stuff.
But you don't
So-
even have to do that. That's the magic of it. Like you don't have to do any of that.
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Yeah, you can
You don't
do
have
that
to do
to
anything.
jump on, chop some trees, turn it off, come
Mhm.
back later.
Yep.
You know?
That's exactly what I do.
Yeah, but
I shake them.
Yeah.
bitches
You know
a
what I
little
mean.
bit.
I just mean like
No, I get
daily
it.
tasks or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, most definitely. Yeah,
Hey, Griffey.
that's what I feel is like the magic of the game is the fact of like for people with extremely busy lives, it caters to them more than like you said, me. I'm on fucking Final Fantasy 14 online, like clocking in like 7 hours a goddamn day, and nobody has that goddamn time, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah,
just pop
especially
in, play half an hour, and you're good.
Yeah, especially if this is like your first game in a long time, like
Yeah.
like with me and like Francesca, like my son's mom, the only game she was ever really into was Animal Crossing as a kid. So the last one she played was New Leaf on 3DS. So for there to be a new Animal Crossing, and we're in quarantine, like I'm one of those people. Like I had a Switch already, but I'm one of those people that got somebody else into this, and had it not been for our current situation, I probably wouldn't have bought her a Switch Lite. I probably wouldn't have bought her Animal Crossing. But because I didn't want her to go crazy, you know what I mean? Like, we have the 2 kids and everything, but I didn't want her to go postal and like lose her fucking sense, you know what I mean?
Shining.
You guys can compare this game to Last of Us, Smash, but I still don't think there's anything like there's been anything like this. This is like crazy. Like everybody's playing this game. Moms.
Yo, just
dads.
wait till Friday, bro.
What's Friday?
What's Friday?
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm sure all the moms are gonna be playing that.
All the
moms. Yo, bro, the people, the little girls that played Final Fantasy VII are now moms, bro. You peep that or not?
Jesus Christ.
Probably not. Our generation ain't trying to have that many kids, but you feel me?
So, speaking of Smash and I don't know why, Leo, why'd you bring up Smash?
Because it's the only game he knows,
it's
bro.
the only one I know besides Animal Crossing. Kidding me?
Oh, I mean, either way, I guess it's a good segue into our next topic. Yeah. So, speaking of Smash, since there's not much else to do besides, if you have kids, if you have kids who ruin your house every day, since there isn't much to do besides chores, sometimes I'll have like the iPad next to me while I'm doing dishes, and like I'll have like a video playing in the background from like Score Esports or Core A Gaming or something, and I watched this video on like salt in the FGC, and like the effects of
those.
salt and like rage or whatever, and like they are a guilty pleasure. I'm not gonna lie. I've given Low Tier God some views. You know what I'm saying? Regrettably, but like I think it leads to a deeper conversation of like how you should conduct yourself and like tournament etiquette and things like that. And being that CrzyFingers here, his channel pretty much is devoted to fighting games and fighting games analysis and things like that, and like that FGC mentality. I don't wanted Jacob to sort of give his opinion on like salt and rage, because I'm like, okay, I'll give you a hypothetical, I'll give you an example, right? Like, a kid not much older than Griffin enters a tournament completely by himself, right?
7
completely
months
by himself, and gets smoked, right, by an adult, by a grown ass man like myself, right? And then the grown ass man proceeds to rage on this kid, like, get the fuck out of here, you suck, right? So now, is it wrong of the grown ass man to yell at this baby, or is that, and this is not my opinion, by the way, this is 2 general ideas from the FGC, which I'm sure you know what I'm gonna say. Mm-hmm. Or did he know what it was? You know what I'm saying? Like, did he enter the Shark Tank and got?
You knew what was coming, you stupid little baby.
Yeah, like,
catch these hands. You can't get good. How about you get out?
So what is, like, I'm just trying to find, like, why do we give Low Tier God views? Why do we give K9S Bruce views? Like, why do people like these people who should be completely unlikable?
God, I've talked about this so much.
Yeah.
I have talked to so many people about this idea of like just giving negativity attention. And it comes down to the there's so many different ideas that it comes down to, but one of the ones that I feel is like a biggest one is the idea of like living vicariously through people. Yeah. So like you're watching like this person who's good at the game, right? And, like, let's say it's Low Tier God, and he's doing his thing. If you know what his thing is, you know what his thing is. And he like wins, and he's popping off on the dude, and he's just like going nuts, and he's being toxic. And you're watching it, and you're like, man, I've had this feeling before. it feels good to see someone else having this feeling. Like anyone who's played fighting games has had that feeling in their head or outwardly. I don't think that's like a surprising thing to say. It's just how it works. You win or you lose, and you have a visceral reaction inherently. Whether you express it or not is really the part that you, as a human and not a stupid lizard, can control.
Yeah.
And so, like, on the negative bit, where, like, you know, low tier god like loses, and he's like, this character is so brain dead. Oh my god, fighting games are dead. You have like that reaction. And when you have that reaction, as someone who's notable, you are, because he got notable one way or another. I haven't been around in fighting games long enough to know how low tier god got to where he is. I'm assuming he good at press buttons.
So just for because I am a low tier god sore. Okay, I should not. This is the thing. Like, this man has said inexcusable things. He has said, like,
absolutely.
He has said and done inexcusable shit, right? I should not. I don't support this. So which is a great intersection for me, because I can support my salt addiction by watching low tier god re-uploads on other people's channels, calling him scrub, right? And then who he bitches about on his channel, saying to get taken down.
Infinite loop, because it creates more salt.
Nah, bro, you deserve this.
Yep.
You deserve to get your shit demonetized. You deserve for people to steal your shit, because you're a garbage human being, and I'm gonna watch their re-uploads that they monetize off of you being an asshole.
But in all due respect, was the motherfucker doing streams?
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ!
So Jacob, to explain that insider real quick, and to the rest of the chat, there's a clip in particular of low tier god playing Tekken, and in the clip, he gets spanked by this lob.
Folded,
right?
bro. Folded,
and like a fucking lawn chair, and and by the end of the round, he goes, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" He goes, "This motherfucker's garbage. He was doing string." And he said, "This motherfucker's doing string," and he was so livid. So ever since then, me and Will just say it for anything. We just be like, "Yo, unbelievable."
They just do Leo go again. This motherfucker doing strings, bro.
Doing strings. Yeah,
that's glorious.
So that's why we all reacted that way. But yeah, so yes, I think to your point of visceral reactions, yes, absolutely. Everyone's gonna react one way or another. For sure. Nobody likes to lose, right? And I'm of the mentality that on your stream you can do whatever you want. That's your domain. That's your stream.
I agree. Whatever content you want to be pushing, you do it. If people come, they come. Yeah. That's just
tournament etiquette in particular. That's
all right. Yeah. So in tournament, not to interrupt you, but like in tournament.
No. Go ahead.
There's it's hard, right? Because the context of a situation matters, not necessarily to justify certain things, but it kind of gives you a perspective as to, you know, what a person's mentality is when they do something. So like if you have a top player against a baby, sure, a baby, but let's say in this scenario, the baby beats him.
Heavy ass head.
A chunky monkey like
the baby beats the full grown ass man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna have a certain reaction from that top player, and it depends on who they are. So you need the context of what kind of person they are.
Okay.
Like, for example, there is a player in the NRS scene whose name is King Gambler. You might have heard of him. He's basically referred to in the NRS scene as the FGC Grandma, and by that we mean he's just the nicest person on the planet. And so if you were like just a nobody and you smoked him in tournament, he'd be like, "Yeah, GG's." To avoid any drama, I will not name an example of this next archetype, but you have other people who will lose to just a complete nobody, and then as a result, they will like throw a controller, they'll walk off, they'll just get super pissed, and sometimes those people are sponsored, and I feel like I'm not saying they don't deserve that, but I'm saying when you're in a position like that, what you do and what you say matters a lot more, whether you like it or not. It's one of those things where you have to be very conscious of your sway over people,
especially if you have a following.
Especially if you have a following, because if you have a big following and you are the most toxic motherfucker on the planet, and you're in tournament, which is a situation where you should be fairly professional. You don't need to be like uptight suit, stick up my ass kind of guy, but you have to carry yourself in a certain manner, and if you don't, then people are gonna be like, I don't like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Or your fans are gonna like stand up for that, and then you're just gonna like perpetuate this idea of being this way. And I feel like there are some communities where this is really bad.
Yeah.
And there are some communities where it's not as bad. You'll find that the bigger communities actually have a problem with this because there's just more people. More people are gonna think different ways. So like, you always hear about, Smash players are so toxic. There's so many of you motherfuckers. There are so many of you.
Yeah.
So I don't have like this initial opinion when I hear someone go, I play Smash. I'm not like, you must be a garbage pail kid. Like, it's like, no, I'll learn who you are. I'll interact with you. And then if you perpetuate the stereotype, maybe that person's opinion of Smash players goes down. And that's like, you are representing a community. And I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit.
No,
you're good, man.
When you are
good.
representing a community, like basically you're in the community, you're in a tournament, you're doing the thing. When you are doing that, you are representing a community. And when you do something like, I don't know, throw a lobster at someone during a tournament.
Was that Hungry Box?
Yeah.
Someone
threw
a crab.
No, it was a crab rather.
Yeah.
Some sort of
people are gonna talk about that.
Yo, for real.
And like, you're anonymous. No one knows. I'm pretty sure no one knows who threw the crab at him.
Wait, no. So okay, Will, boy, are you guys familiar with this?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody threw a crab. Long story short, somebody threw a crab at HBox at a tournament. The reason they threw the crab, I don't know if the crab. By the way, it was a lot. It wasn't alive, but it was
fresh.
It was a dead fresh. It was a real crab.
I would have.
It wasn't like a plush or nothing. It was a real crab, right? Somebody threw a whole crab at HBox, and for reasons unknown, but nobody really likes HBox because he plays Puff. And I don't know why people hate Puff so much. But he plays Jigglypuff, and people hate him.
He's a quote-unquote lame character.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
And for some reason, that's super... basically, what I mean by that is that it's an inherently defensive character. Like, an absurdly, I have to wait for you to do a thing. And as a result, me waiting...
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. As a result, me waiting is observed as I'm not doing anything.
Right.
Which is not the case.
Definitely not.
That's a strategy.
It is.
Exactly. And people
Garbage
don't
like
like that because, it's so sleeper.
Yo, but you camp in Smash Brothers.
It's like it's like
You can't
it's
knock
like
that
Justin
and not
like
zoners.
yeah, it's like Justin. It's like Justin Wong with block. Like
oh my God.
Justin Wong's infamous for blocking and like infamous for getting his opponents right with blocking. You know what I mean?
You just reminded me. There's a clip when when Mortal Kombat X came out. Justin Wong has this clip of him playing Jax, and he's like just in ranked, and he's playing there's a variation where he has like a rocket launcher and guns, and he has like a lot of projectiles, and he's just shooting a rocket at this kid, and the kid's on the mic like, "You're cheating!" It's like the funniest. He's like, "You're gonna learn today." And
he's like, "No, you're gonna learn."
And the video clip was listed under educational content.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. So, but that's what I mean. Like, and like, it's good that you mentioned the whole thing about being sponsored, right? Because like here at Hearst Boys, I don't consider Hearst Boys a sponsor so much as it is like a team. Like we're a team, you know what I mean? Like I didn't because like I didn't hire these guys; they didn't sign anything. We're 10 dudes who like fighting games. Like it's really that simple.
I mean, you looked
And
at
we
me a certain
operate
way
under.
when you asked me. It was sexy, so I had to join.
And,
I was like, I can't say no to this guy.
and we operate like we operate a certain way or whatever. But it's not necessarily a sponsor. But you're right. You do have a responsibility to act a certain way when you're sponsored, and that I guess that's a good segue into like, tournament etiquette isn't exclusive to players. It's everyone. It's the player, spectator, commentator love triangle, right?
I'm glad that you mentioned commentator. I'm assuming you saw.
I did. Yep.
You didn't?
What
you did?
No, I did. Yep.
Okay, so basically,
say it.
Recently, I'm gonna give you like a quick backstory as to why this tournament exists, and then I'll go into because it is important. There's this guy named Prince Panther that randomly showed up in the NetherRealm fighting game scene, and he was like, "I have a bunch of money. I want to make tournaments." People were like, "Yeah, whatever." And then he proved he had a bunch of money, and they were like, "Okay, let's do these tournaments." Everyone was down. He made one of the tournaments was a top 8 invitational for EU. It had a payout. It was all nice. And there was one guy who was commentating it. His name is Mitsuons. He's from Germany, I believe, if I remember correctly. And not to be a dick, but I'm not a fan of his commentary. He kind of just yells. But
that's fine. You don't gotta like everybody.
He's a loud person, is basically what I'm trying to get across. Right. And he had 2 rules. Give me your PSN, which they did, obviously, to play in the tournament. But then the other one was don't skip the first intro of the first set. That was what his rule was.
Wait, I'm sorry. The first intro, what game is this?
The character, the character
okay.
intros.
Okay.
Because he said he needed that time to be able to, do production stuff.
I get that.
And that's totally understandable.
Mm-hmm.
What is not understandable is that slip of the mind. NRS players skip intros all the damn time. They just want to. They're the kind of people that just want to get in. They don't care.
They literally pause it at the end and just hit restart battle.
They want to play. They are ravenous for it. And the first set, they skipped the first intro. And his immediate response, there wasn't like a second of pause. His immediate response was complete and utter rage. He was like, "What did I tell you? I told you, don't skip the first intro. It's really simple. What did I tell you?" And, that bit, maybe, he rages and then he goes back to commentating. He's fine. Now, literally after that, he said, "You know what, chat? You commentate this. You didn't commentate the first set."
Yeah.
And this is... EU rarely gets any online tournament exposure at all.
Yeah.
And so when you have you are representing the entirety of EU by being a commentator there. Yeah. The players aren't talking, so they don't have like any mood or opinion that they can give off. They're just playing. People are there to watch them. But you as a commentator, you have a job you are literally half of the entertainment. No, like people hate watching fighting games without commentary unless you're a lame dude like me who just watches all of it. But
good commentary, commentary.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. You need good commentary, and he wasn't supplying that because he literally just stopped. Which is like one of the most unprofessional things on the planet.
I get the issue with production, live,
for sure, I completely
insane,
understand.
Trust me, but definitely not a way to react in that situation.
And later, the thing is, he could have just let that did that, been done. He wasn't. Later in the stream, there was this moment. I hear you laughing. Later in the stream, he had like a cam on him. Yeah. And he was talking. He was like, "I just want to say that I am sorry." And he was quiet when he said that bit because he wanted to blow up your eardrums if you had your headphones on. Because after that, he went, "I want to say sorry to absolutely no one."
Oh shit!
And
and
then he went on to be like, "It's the champ," and he like kept going on and on, and he's like, "I've been banning people since 2015 for essentially stupid shit." And he doubled down.
Damn, he doubled down.
You
on
gotta,
the
He
you
doubled
bullshit.
got,
down.
you
and
gotta
it's like,
admire
you
that.
can't
Nah,
do that.
that deserves a follow from my part, bro.
That.
He's a
No,
scumbag.
that's a block.
That's a scumbag right there.
And like later on Twitter, he had like an apology video. Well, not an
Oh
apology
my
video.
god, he tripled out.
It wasn't an apology video. It was more a going forward, but it had the air of an apology video.
Mm.
Where he talked about how there were people in chat that were legitimately toxic, you know, like calling him the N-word and making fun of his appearance. Like, that's not okay. You can't ever justify that. But there are people I know for a fact that were just like, that's not cool. You can't do that. That got banned.
Right.
Yeah.
There were top players, very respected top players in the chat being like, that's a little much, dude. And he was like, no, get out of here.
Wow.
And essentially,
Power trip, man.
it like really drove home for me the idea that when you are commentating, you have a responsibility. You can't just say stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your job is talking, but you need to talk correctly, neatly, and you know, maybe pleasantly. You can yell in a pleasant manner.
Yeah, commentating is hard, man. Like
it's super. Like I've
not a
like
joke.
I've been working on it. Like I've commentated like a couple tournaments, like online tournaments.
Cool.
And it's hard as shit. One of them I had to do solo, and guess what?
Wow.
Never do that. Never do that.
So much dead status.
So
it's crazy, especially when you're thrown into those situations where you have no idea what's going on in this game, but because they like the way you commentated on a game prior to this one, and you're like, what's an up
That is
rainy.
That's a bad situation for everybody.
Yeah, that was me
because the commentator doesn't know what's going on. The players do know what's going on.
Right.
The commentator and the players both know the commentator doesn't know what's going on.
They
and so you have these two people that are like, what the fuck is going on? And one of them hates the other. The other one is just scared.
Yeah, that was me, or at least I tried to act like that wasn't me at this one. So in Westchester County, they have the Smash community there is known as Smash Chester. And they go to this shop, Undiscovered Realm. Shout out to them. Where it's a collectible store. It's a collectible store that throws tournaments, right? So they have setups in the back, and they have a stream, and it's really nice. It's tight, like most tournament venues are, but it's nice and it does the job. And you know, I took a couple of the guys there, Leo being one of them.
Oh yeah.
And I entered them. I didn't enter myself, but the guy running the stream, like he's familiar. Yeah. Actually, yeah. So Rick, like,
oh shit.
Yeah. So Rick, yes, it's that Rick.
Oh,
so
cool,
Rick
cool.
was running the stream or whatever.
I got a couple things to tell you, Rick. Stay tuned, bro. I
So
got a
sit
couple
down
things
and
to tell
listen
you.
in.
You almost made me cry that night, bro.
And motherfuckers was like, yo, because so, you know, a lot of tournaments do this where they rotate between playing and commentating. So like, I think they were one comment short after like one or two rounds because everybody that was set to commentate besides one guy was competing. And I think, I don't know who said it. It was either Rick or it was one of you guys probably. They were like, yo, Rainy, get on the...
Yeah, it was me. It was me.
Yeah.
It was me.
You're like, yo, put a headset on.
Yeah, you were like,
The
fuck
setup.
it. You were like, fuck it. He did not wait. Yo,
I was like...
he's saying that, but he didn't hesitate, bro. He was like, yo, fuck it, man. Let's see. Because his team was whooping ass. That's why he was so
What's the
confident.
worst it can have?
Like, we were fucking mopping. As in Justin and Kev, because I was doing subpar that night. But that's another story.
You lost... So hold on. By the way, I'm gonna put this out there.
Put it on
The
blast.
chat needs to know.
Put it on blast, bro.
Okay, so Leo and his brother Freddie are both on this team, right? They're both on this team. And if you're familiar with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, they're literally like Dio and fucking and
Jotaro.
And Jotaro, yeah. They are literally them, right? It doesn't stop. Like, hanging out with the both of them is mind-numbing. It doesn't fucking stop, right? So
it's a smooth brain experience.
So the rivalry is like that, right? So Leo met his brother in Losers and lost. So,
bro,
I didn't hear about this. What the fuck?
Bro.
Yeah.
No, well,
Leo.
No, I won.
Leo
I won.
plays.
Go ahead. No, I won. That's the thing. I won barely. That's the issue. that it was last.
I
it
get
was
it.
like
Yeah,
I
okay.
can't believe I'm struggling against this piece of shit, failed genetic bundle of me, bro. This man is a failed clone of what I am. Why is he contesting my skills right now? That's what's happening.
He said the
Clip that
failed
shit.
code. He said the failed
The
code.
failed
of what I
code.
am.
Clone of what I am, bro. I'm
Oh
tired of that,
my
man.
god. So yeah, so that night was pretty eventful for everyone involved because I entered three of my best guys in Smash, and I got on the commentators table, and I watch it back, and I'm like, oh, that's not as bad as I remember.
No,
because
you said some terms.
like you said, Jacob, like you have to know the game, right? Fortunately for me, I was, I pick up on stuff rather quickly, especially in social settings or whatever, and I'm just a talker by nature. So I kind of, when you're in a position where you don't know as much, you sort of act like a mouthpiece for the person who does. And like that was my role on the commentators table that night, because the guy next to me knew all the time. This motherfucker knew everything. All right. So I was just like,
he was good.
So I was just like, oh, so how would you respond there to something like that? Somebody SD'd or whatever. And he was like, and I was like, oh, how do you respond to something like that? He's like, well, his toolkit isn't that diverse, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, yeah. Keep talking.
Yeah, that's actually really smart. That's like a technique that a lot of commentators who like maybe have like a certain gap in their like thinking, or just straight up they're not an analytical brain. You'll actually see Sajam do this a lot. To help get his commentator comfortable, he will ask questions if he understands that the other person knows what they're talking about, which incentivizes and kind of, nurtures the idea of asking questions on commentary to kind of create a back and forth.
Nice.
And so him asking his commentator will prompt his commentator, like his co-commentator, to ask him other things.
That's another thing. Commentating is a team effort. A lot of videos I watch online, like they're like commentators are like kind of competing over each other, which is a little bit weird to me.
Talking over people in commentary, like how I just did to you. You see how that felt bad?
No, it's fine because you're like the special guest here. You're prioritized here.
Yeah. So that's you fine. Got this.
It's just like you. That's the idea, right?
It's also situations like don't get me wrong, I love Eris, but you have somebody actually saying shit and then Eris just yelling.
Oh!
Eris is yelling, man. That's like the whole thing. Just
literally every top 8. Top 8. Literally anything that happens. Oh! Like,
but yeah, I totally get what you're saying, CrzyFingers. Like that's I get it.
Like, Eris, it was a while standing 2. What are you doing?
Yo, he punished that. Oh my god.
Like, we all saw it, Eris. What are you talking about?
One more thing. After I lost that tournament on Smashchester, they call it Smashchester because a lot of big players come from Westchester, actually. Like, they're based at. When I lost, because I think Kev actually plays top 8 or something. But
no, Kev plays 10th.
Yeah, okay.
Which is still a big fucking deal.
Yeah, because we had Noku in that tournament. He lost to Noku, he's a big Smash player. But in New York, only in New York. But the thing is, Rainey had the audacity to buy us McDonald's after I lost. Like, on top of that, this man is feeding me. I wanted to fight him. Like, how dare?
I hope it was a happy meal. Like,
little toy.
You get him next time, champ.
He's like, guys, here.
Give him a pat on the back.
I'm like, don't touch me.
Yo, it was crazy. Leo was in his feelings, bro.
Oh my god, that was itchy, bro.
And it was the summer, so we have the windows down, and Leo's like the tallest, so he was kind of hanging out the window, and he was yelling, bro. He was yelling. He was like, I can't believe. He was like, I'm dropping Smash. I'm playing Tekken. I don't care.
And mind you, I got really good on Tekken, and guess what I'm doing now? I'm playing Smash.
Back on Smash.
But back to the topic of bad commentary. If you guys want to see really bad commentary, one of our first recorded Twitch tournaments, we had the
Oh
genius
my
idea of
god.
putting Leo and his brother as the
Oh
commentators for
my
Street Fighter.
God.
I don't even need that much context to know that's a nightmare.
Literally 8 minutes of them just talking shit to each other about.
you're just
No
garbage.
Yo, you
Like,
suck.
you're
No,
just
you
fucking
suck.
garbage.
Wait, what's going on in this match?
Yeah, seriously,
Yeah.
literally.
This guy doesn't even play Street Fighter, so he's just like watching, and he's like, "This game is garbage." You're garbage. Commentary, like at all.
Oh my
And
god.
I think, boy, you were running stream at the time and like watching the chat, so you would take your headphones off and go, "Yo, guys, can you actually talk about the fucking game?"
Yes.
Like,
Yo,
like,
boy would get so fucking mad. We're like, okay. Oh, that's a nice wake up. You piece of shit. This is why this game is so fucking bad.
Streaming fighting games, and this one guy gets in the fucking chat, and he's like, "These guys are not talking about anything," and I'm like, "You're right." And I'm looking at them like, "Please
Yeah.
talk about the game."
yeah, yeah.
Good
So
times.
how do you take an L, right? Like, because Jacob, are you familiar with K9S Bruce?
I know the name. I'm not very familiar
Yeah,
with
me
like,
neither.
who he is.
K9S Bruce is a pretty mid to low tier, I would say, Smash competitor. I don't think he's ever placed a notable top 8 in his entire life, but he's one of those people that knows everything. Like he's
Mm.
like he's lived with Zero before. Like he's lived with Zero before. He knows Mewtwo. Like I think he knows Mewtwo King. Like he knows everybody in the, like everybody knows him. He knows everybody in this, right? He was a big competitor, I believe, in Brawl. No, Smash for Wii U, I think. So I keep saying I think because I just seen a video on it and it's hazy in my mind. But just if you're curious at all in the chat, just the letter K, the number 9, the letter S,
Oh, they
and
know
then
who
Bruce.
they are. They're like, you have
Right?
some,
Yeah, Black
some
Sheep
stream.
knows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
K9S Bruce.
Papa
Top
Rex.
50.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, he used to be top 50. Okay, so
that's pretty
So,
damn good. Holy shit.
top 50 is not saying much because you don't see
Right.
like
right.
the lowest. Like if you're watching it from home, the lowest you're ever gonna see, or the
Maybe.
no top 32. So he doesn't even place that high. So being top 50 is not saying much because you don't get a lot of screen time, right? But this guy K9 Bruce, he's notorious for this handshake, right? The handshake, and people in the chat are gonna know what I'm talking about. When he loses, right? And he's pretty strong. Like you see him, he plays in a tank top most
Does
of
he
the time.
like just
He's
throw you to the ground
he's
via
pretty-
your hand?
Bro, yes, he's pretty diesel. Like he's pretty cut up or he's fit. So like, you know, most of the time he's playing these scrawny fucking Smash kids, and like
Right.
he'll take the L, and like when he goes for the handshake, he'll go like I'm not gonna do it while holding Griffin,
Do it,
but like
do it
he'll
while
go like
holding
this,
Do
right?
it.
Do
Do it
it.
right
Toss
now.
that baby.
Do it.
And
Toss
then-
the baby.
and then with his whole shoulder, throw your whole
my
arm down,
God, what a
like
Oh,
piece of
like
no.
this, right?
You know,
And-
dislocate
and, like,
someone.
Yeah, bro. So my thing is like, like this is a video game.
Yo, for
You,
real.
you're not finna do that to me, bro.
Yeah, but
like so
At that point, you're just like, no handshake, I'm good.
yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like, and then you know people that are his friends will make excuses for him and shit, and like that's not cool. Like being like, oh well, he's just passionate. He's just passionate about the game.
Yo, me too.
No, man. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
bro. That's why I'm here. Like, give me a fucking break. You know
That's
what I mean?
a
And
form of
like,
intimidation. That plays a big part. Like when you're playing.
Yeah, but the
Yo.
set's already done, bro. He
Right.
won.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
You got your
Like, you don't
spanking.
gotta
No,
break the man's arm.
No, I'm not justifying it at all. I'm saying like
No, I know.
Him playing in the tank top as well is like shit. Like if he does
You-
like
Legally-
rage, he can just knock
legally-
me out.
bro, legally it's assault.
Yeah,
like,
for
yeah,
sure.
literally.
Like legally, it's literally assault.
Right.
So if anybody wanted to take it there, they totally could have. I
Mhm.
mean, you know, everybody kind of knows him for that. Like people like his friends that place higher than him and everything will make excuses for him and shit and like say, oh well, he's just passionate. You know what I mean? But like it goes even beyond him too, because like let's say you're someone who looks like K9, right, or someone with like Leo's height, or you know what I mean,
Mhm.
and like you lose to a girl that's half your size, right?
Right.
And then you pull some shit like that, not the handshake thing, but like you slam your controller in front of them, throw the chair back and storm off. Like that's fucking try. Like, that's not cultivating
That's
a safe
trash.
environment, especially for like women too. You know what I mean? Who are who are like severely outnumbered in the FGC
Fighting
as
games
it is.
are already so scary for women. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
Like who barely
Well, just
partake
existing
at all.
like
literally
scary for
just
women.
existing. It's
Literally.
fucked up,
Yeah.
but
So fucked up.
literally just existing.
Yeah,
So
so
bad.
like, you know, it's I think it's our responsibility as like we put winning so high on the pedestal. Like we put winning on this pedestal because we only ever see the top 1% of the top 10% who play fighting games, right? But the bottom 90% is what make that 10% important. If it wasn't for the bottom 90% of us, who gives a fuck about IDOM? You know what I mean? Like if there's no one there to watch, and if there's no one there to comment, and if there's no one there to play, like if
IDOM needs someone to beat.
Yeah, like if 20,000 people enter a tournament, top 8, it means everything. But if 8 people enter the tournament,
who cares?
Top 8 is just the tournament. Like you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So I think like a lot of I guess my point is like a lot of what needs to be fixed in the FGC, in my opinion, comes from learning how to take an L from players.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And also banning all Brawlic people who play Smash.
yo,
That's
and like
hilarious.
not like Bruce is not a small dude. You know what I mean? Like he's not huge, but like he's up there. You know what I mean? Like he's cut up. So for him to do that shit is like weird. And to not to bring up fucking low tier God again, but surprisingly,
My God, Rainy.
Surprisingly, watch him at any tournament, and he's been to very few. But watch him at a tournament. When those cameras are on him when he's on stream, he is the most well-behaved player.
It's not even wrong. It's great. It's like a different person.
It's like a different, and he is like respectable handshake, a head nod, and he's off. On stream,
Talks his shit.
Stream, holy
but that's
shit,
I'm okay
bro.
with that, you know, because
That makes sense.
I'm okay with it.
That just kind of furthers that it's more of like that's his specific type of content he wants to make versus when you're in a shared space like a tournament,
right?
And especially some of those people there are putting themselves on the line financially to be there. It just becomes a whole different kind of conversation, and that's why it's weird, like that whole popping off thing. Like some of the bottom 90%, or even some of just the bottom 50% of tournament players are the ones that behave the most outlandishly. But then
like throwing a crab.
The ones
there's nothing wrong with popping off. It's just how you pop off that really matters.
Exactly. Like there are some pop-offs where you'll look at them and you're like, this is legendary.
For sure.
There's an example.
Like Lil Majin.
Or taking his shirt off.
Yeah, that shit. Dogura and who else? There's like this like ongoing handshake thing. I think it's is it like Taquito and Dogura? I think.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure who.
I can't remember who it is either, but like it's just this consistent thing where like it's like handshake and then and like the mood of it is like really funny. But specifically, there's also like pop-offs that toe the line. So you have back in Injustice 2, you have this player. His name is Madsen, and in MKX he played Sub-Zero. You might know him, you might not. Doesn't matter. Dude was playing Dark Side. He got top 8 in a tournament, and he's a large German man. And dude, obviously competitors are sitting in these chairs, and Madsen wins, gets up, is flexing, he's like, yeah, and we're like, cool. He then picks up a chair, slams it on the ground, it bounces and hits someone in the crowd.
I saw that. Yeah.
It didn't hit him very hard, but it could have.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I think it hit him kind of like
it hit him like in like slightly in the leg, but he like played it up for the bit. I think it was Double Me Spy. It's like he just like like fell over, and it was funny. Everyone refers to that pop off like all the time in the NRS scene because it's hilarious.
And if I'm not mistaken,
but someone
he
could have
apologized to that.
No, he didn't. But it was like DMS Double May Spy was like kind of he was cool with it. He very clearly was like, this is the bit, I'm gonna play it up right now. But it easily could have like bounced maybe a little higher and hit him in the head. Like popping off, it's a very in the moment thing, so you're not thinking about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
For sure.
And some people who are because like when you pop off, it is the fullest of your energy being released because all this tension was building during the match, and then it's gone. Now you're being unleashed.
Right.
And there are people like that who are very passionate, and therefore their response is to jump up and toss a chair on the ground.
Yeah.
But you have pop-offs that are equally like hype. Again, in Injustice 2 at Evo, Sonic Fox picked Starfire versus Tweety. Tweety is a Starfire player and has gone on record to say no one can beat me in the mirror.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
And Tweety mauled Sonic in that mirror. And Tweety stood up, said, pick a different character. Like he kept pointing at him and kept yelling at him. It was one of the hypest things I have ever seen. And Sonic was just nodding like, yep, okay, yeah, okay. And then Sonic switched. And I think Tweety beat them. I can't remember. I think he did though, in the set eventually. But it was just like it's like two it's the same amount of energy in both pop-offs, but one of them, you know, while it's hype in the moment, it wouldn't have been if something wrong happened.
Right.
Yeah. Like I think for me, my favorite pop-off is probably the most emotional one I've ever seen. It was but that's because I'm familiar with the history of it. It was Hungrybox like crying on stage after beating Armada.
Oof.
Like that melee where it was match point, it was tournament set, like tournament point, and Armada fucking SDs as Fox.
Wow.
And Hungrybox jumps up and literally starts sobbing, like crying. He gets on his knees and like his forehead touches the floor. And I'm like,
when he won Evo.
And literally, I'm on my couch like, and I'm on my couch like, damn, I don't give a fuck about Smash. Goddamn, bro. Oh my god, this shit.
Yeah, bro, you put in
there's so much bullshit that entailed in that.
You put like countless hours to train in this fucking game.
Exactly.
The least you can do, like the least you get is like a pop off, right? But it's just You know, like if I win Evo, I'm gonna scream like I'm just gonna turn Super Saiyan 7 on stage. I'm not gonna touch anybody else. I'm just gonna scream my lungs out and just scream into the air and then just give the guy a handshake.
Remember being a kid and Googling Super Saiyan 500?
Remember that shit? That gray-haired Saiyan, bro? Bring him back.
Yeah, but what about Super Saiyan 6?
Bring him back, bro. Super Saiyan 6.
Yeah. It was remember Dragon Ball AF?
Oh my god.
You remember Dragon Ball After Future?
That was my god.
One of the best fan things I've ever seen.
But excuse me, while I watch this Goku Omega Shinra AMV with Trapped Headstrong playing in the background.
Excuse me while I watch this History of Trunks AMV with fucking with Indian
Linkin Park's Numb.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I think back to the pop-off thing, one of the most respected kind of moments of emotion for me was always the Sonic Fox and Go 1 rivalry.
Oh my god.
Dragon Ball.
Every time those two were on stage, the energy was fucking electric. It's something completely different than anything you've ever seen.
It was in that moment that I realized I didn't like Sonic Fox.
Yeah,
I don't like.
It was about 2 years ago in Evo when he did that fucking that chair switch.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh my no, you know what's crazy? I didn't like him at first until I realized how good he is in fighting games in general.
No, it's
in general.
They're non-binary. So
oh, okay.
Remember,
got it.
It's them. It fucks me up too.
Got it.
Yeah,
I always knew Sonic as he for like so long, so it kind of
So it fucks me up a little bit, but it's they them. So I may not like them, but I will respect their pronouns and everything. But the reason I don't like them, the reason I don't like them is because of the side switch. And
right, I remember that.
I don't.
That was so annoying.
Here's why I don't like. Because.
Wait, what's side
because
switching?
where I'm from, you play on the side you fucking sit at.
Oh, literally side switching.
You play on the side you sit at the tournament. You play on that side because that's where you have. That's where you ended up, right? From when you entered the tournament. Gotcha. That's where you ended up. So you play on that side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you were tier 2 for a reason. You were coming in as losers. You're tier 2. That makes sense.
Yeah, and at the time,
What game
like,
was this?
here's
What
the thing.
game?
It was
Dragon Ball Fighters.
Okay.
Fighters. It was Dragon Ball Fighters. But the thing that bothered me is that Goichi's, like in Japan, politeness is paramount.
Mm-hmm.
In Japan, right?
Absolutely.
Like
It's
politeness.
more important than drinking water.
Politeness takes precedence over like everything, right?
Right.
So Goichi is not the type of person, being a Japanese person, like growing up in the culture of, you know, politeness being the most, he's not finna say no.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like in my mind, I feel like they took it like,
Wow.
maybe
they
not.
monetized.
I'm throwing shit out there, maybe not. But I feel like in my mind, in my head,
They monetized.
I feel like that was an advantageous thing. Not saying that they took advantage of Goichi's Japanese sensibilities and the politeness thing. Not saying that it was purposeful, but it does play a huge part in because let me tell you something. I'd have been like, get the fuck out of my face, Sonic Fox. You get the fuck out of my face. You gonna sit there and you gonna watch me take this set from you because you're so good, right? And so pampered, right? That you literally are unable to play player 2 side. So you gonna learn the deck and you gonna play player 2 side.
You'll never lose. Today's the day.
Fuck out of here.
I'll keep it a buck. Like Sonic Fox plays outstanding in every single game that they play. Right,
bro.
I'll give it to them. Like amazing performance in every single one of the tournaments that they've been in. Right, but when I seen that shit.
They were like,
when I see that shit, like, don't get me wrong. Immediately, I was like, okay, that was actually a very genius move because it follows the guidelines, right? But like, I don't know, in terms of just respect and in the overall place that you are, why? Like, why would you do some like conniving ass bullshit like that? You feel me?
Money's on the line. Like,
money's on the line, money's on the line, but there's still some bullshit, bro. Like,
I agree.
How you just gonna cut off Goichi's like momentum, like straight, like cut it off with your gameplay, fam? You feel me?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, they did.
Was it so? What? If I remember correctly, was it the fact that Sonic Fox had come back 3 and reset it that they were like, okay, I deserve chair 1 now, or did they just be like,
Goichi took that set, and then Sonic Fox was like, I want to switch seats.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't make sense, but now
it's like a super like this is something that I've heard about people doing in the past. It's called icing.
Oh.
And there's like a lot of different ways you can ice someone, and it's just because like when you're winning, you're hot essentially, right?
Yeah,
you're heated up and you're warmed up. If there's anything that happens to be able to interrupt that, it's inherently advantageous for the person that was losing rather, inherently.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's something they tried to do, whether it's something it's not. The point is, it happened, and you're getting iced. And when that happened for that Evo, I was like, oh no, Sonic Fox just won.
Yeah,
like, there wasn't a question online. I was like,
immediately
slowed him down.
Wow. We was all hyped. Like, I was mad hyped for Goichi. I was like, oh, homie's dusting the dude. He's dusting. And then I seen that switch. I was like, this is gonna change the entirety of the outcome.
Which is why I like the
why did they allow that?
I don't know.
It was that's the thing. This is. Wait, what happened? What?
I think it's like a tournament by tournament thing, whether or not that's against the rules or not.
Right.
So I think it always depends on how that specific organization treats it, right? I think.
Well, this is what brings me back to the whole politeness thing, where it's I don't think it's by tournament because I've been watching Evo since 2011. I ain't never seen nobody do that shit.
Never.
So
that's the thing. It's a super obscure. It's a super obscure rule. And I forget who I was talking to about it, and they had shed some light on it for me. But they were like, yeah, no, some certain tournaments allow this to run through. But for the largest FGC-based tournament and production, to have this rule is just like I can't get it. There's like no way I can fathom why that's even like a
I
thing.
just think there wasn't time for them to properly step in. I think, but either way, it wasn't even about the side switching. I think it was just about cooling them off. Like,
Yeah, no, it was straight up momentum.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And
like, even if they say no, it's still slowing them down.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna come in and try to. This little bit of time I've gotten them just staring at us, trying to figure this out. I'm sitting here thinking about all the ways I need to counter this person, and then just giving myself more time than already allotted.
Meanwhile, the other guy's like overthinking it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like at that point, just add timeouts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The worst part about that for me is the fact that Goichi had to wait a whole year.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah, an entire
Sonic
year.
Fox being called the best Dragon Ball player, of being the second best Dragon Ball player, and he's from like Randy said, he's from Japan.
Yeah.
Like all that kind of stuff, like just like taking a loss is hard in that country.
Oh
It's super. It hurts, and so he trained his ass off, and then the following Evo was probably the best grand finals of a fighting game I've ever watched.
Yeah, I agree.
I was yelling at home. I was in a Discord call with my friend, and I was screaming. Goichi's killing Sonic Fox's Kid Buu, and I said, "Chew up that bubblegum! Kill that kid!" I was popping off. It was ridiculous. And then he wins. Tears immediately.
Yeah.
Because that whole year of training, being the second best, having to deal with the fact that you got iced live, all of that.
It all paid off.
It all came together in this finale of Vegeta beating Goku.
Yeah. I had that same feeling when Lil Majin had made it into top 8.
The stare.
The people's eyebrow. I had that same feeling.
That CEO was hype as fuck. He just pounded right through. But on the topic of, because pop-offs is where we got into this. The thing that I want to wrap it up, but like at least for my point of view on it, is that there's 2 more pop-offs that I want to bring up, and neither of them are physical. But there's Super Noon got top 8, I think, at Evo.
Yeah.
And if you know about this pop-off, he got out of the chair, collapsed on the ground, pounded the ground, and was crying.
Relatable.
Yeah.
Man.
I've seen the clip.
Super Noon is a guy who is like a godlike player, and everyone was doubting him. But for some reason, everyone was like, he's not going to do it. And then he did it. And it was beautiful, and it was very emotional. The inverse of this, of like the idea of like people doubting you, and you're breaking through that. This is more recent in MK11. There was this matchup which was I don't want to call him Daddy, but his name used to be Buffalo. He changed it to Daddy because I don't know why.
Because why not?
But you've got he's like a kid, but he's like he's really tall. He's like big for being a kid. He's like 16 or 17. And which you can probably guess why I don't want to call him Daddy.
Right.
But so him versus Scar, and this blew up. I feel like most people who know about this, even people like I had my brother, who like isn't huge into fighting games, message me and be like, "Did you hear about this?" And it was this story I'm about to tell. So online, Buffalo. I'm calling him Buffalo. You can't make him call.
No, it's fine.
Buffalo beats Scar online in a tournament. He plays Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero has an overhead. Not a lot of characters in MK11 have a launching overhead, and so a lot of people don't like fighting that character in tournament because it's a lot of guessing. And the format's 1-2. Usually in NRS games it's 1-3, but it's 1-2 in this game. A lot of people think it should be 1-3, but it's 1-2. And Scar said 1-2, boys, after on Twitter after he lost, and essentially implying that he only lost because the format was 1-2. And it was online. That was like the 2 big things.
Okay.
Fast forward to I don't remember what tournament, but fast forward to this tournament, and In bracket, offline, is Buffalo versus Scar.
Oh.
And this was huge. People were like, "Oh my god, what's going to happen? Is someone going to die?" like there was so much anger between the two parties that everyone was ramping it up. And Buffalo beats him. Wow. And the pop off that ensues after this, no one died, obviously. You would have heard about that.
Yeah.
But Scar is a short dude. I love Scar. He's on the shorter side. I'm on the shorter side, so I get to say that. Buffalo is a tall dude. He's very tall. And so Buffalo stands up.
CEO 2019, right?
As Scar, yes. I think that's correct. Scar stands up. Buffalo stands up. Buffalo gets real close to his face, looking down, and is just screaming at him. He called him a little bitch. He kept screaming first to two boys, "You're a little bitch." There's a bunch of first off, the professional photographers at CEO had a field day with that shit because it was such a dynamic moment. Yeah. There was so much movement going on. I'm sure you saw images of it and just didn't know the context. But that moment was Buffalo being doubted because he 2-0'd someone online and was called an online warrior, and that wouldn't have happened offline. And then he beats the guy who said it offline. And this is after like a month or two. Like this brewed. It wasn't like a little boop. Like I'm talking, you had the fucking Keurig on high for like 3 days. And you kept looping it until eventually it got link in the Discord if you guys wanna watch it.
Watch it later.
Nice.
But like you can even just look at the thumbnail. Like look at that energy in that thumbnail right now. It's insane. He was so angry. But after this happened, there was a lot of online anger because this is super unprofessional. Right. You're getting in this grown man's face, and someone literally had to pull him back. Because it looked he wasn't going to swing on him, but it looked like he was about to.
I had seen this clip, and I mean, in regards because I deal with a bunch of disrespectful ass teenagers in my neighborhood at the time. And just to not be able to beat the shit out of them.
Here's the thing, right? Like afterwards online, there were like 3 camps. One, dumb kid, pretty cool pop off, but maybe don't go that hard. Because you can't lie, the pop off is legendary. There is so much. Like I can admit that. I can say this isn't a good thing, but come on.
That's crazy.
Right? It's insane. No one expected that. It came out of nowhere because. For some reason, commentary didn't mention that they have beef, but I won't go into that one. But online, there was that. The second one was...
Don't buy it.
The second one was race-fueled, and I was really confused on that one. They were like, he's a white guy, he's a black guy. They're always coming for us. And I know that I'm white, so I'm not like able to speak from this point of view. But to me, it was really jarring because I know the kid. I'm like, this not a racist bone in this kid's body. He's just super pissed. And the third one was, I would have hit that guy. I would have knocked that kid out. It's like, this is a child.
Yeah.
You are not going to swing on this admittedly large child in front of everyone. And Scar, God bless, he didn't do that because he's smart.
Yeah, I think that's the general consensus give me a second. That's the general consensus with Leffen. Because, Leffen got banned from Smash for 2 years, but people forget that he did all that dumb shit when he was 15,
Yeah. And, basically, this pop-off and the Super Noon pop-off, to me, they are very similar, but just handled in very different ways.
Yeah.
Because both of them are inherently emotional, because pop-offs are, but one of them is elation. It's exhilarate, just, oh my god, I did it. All of this paid off. And then for the Buffalo thing, he's a kid with the hormones brewing in the Keurig and whatnot, and he's just pissed because wouldn't you be? You got your win discredited. I would have been angry. I don't know if I would have been stand up getting the guy's face angry, but the point is there's an understanding on both sides. And one of them, when Super Noon did that pop off, people made fun of him. It's like you're a full-grown man crying and being on the stage. Like people don't understand how much emotion goes into this, and so their immediate response as a result is not going to have anything to do with fighting games.
Right.
And so the way you carry yourself with this pop-off is not going to be framed in a fighting game manner 9 times out of 10.
What?
Yeah.
You are going to see it, and if you are like outside looking in, you're going to see Super Noon crying, and you're like, oh, it's just a game. Who cares?
Yeah.
But if you look at Buffalo, the response is even more violent because it's this large guy standing over this other guy, looking like he's about to kill him.
Yeah.
And so outside looking in, you're like, no.
Yeah, it's like worse. It's much worse if you don't know the context.
Absolutely.
Because it's like it's fueling every old guy's argument that like video games make people violent.
Most definitely.
100%.
You know what I mean? It's like every old head that ever said that video games were like bad. Like just look at that situation completely out of context. No knowledge.
You heard that, Barbara Walters?
Yeah, and like fucking Bartholomew Schuheiser on Facebook is like, you see these young knickerbockers and whippersnappers are polluting our community with their cockamamie violence.
Cockamamie.
So it, I guess all of this goes back to the point of like, if you learn, you got to learn how to take the L, man. Even me, like,
you also have to learn how to get the W.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
because this situation that I'm talking about, I don't want to like, I love Buffalo. I've known the kid for so long. But like when this happened, I was like, dude, that was a little much. And we've talked about it. He acknowledged also, by the way, afterwards that it was a little much, and he talked to Scar, and they evened it out. Everything was fine. Everyone made it bigger than it actually was, because to the 2 people involved, it was done about like at the end of the tournament, essentially. It finished, wrapped up. But there was this actually, in the large scheme of things, isn't a huge significant moment in these 2 people's lives, other than people will talk about it.
Yeah.
And everyone else was talking about it, because why wouldn't you be? Did you see what happened?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, if you haven't watched it, and after this podcast, when you go to watch it, feel free to message me and be like, yo, that was fucking crazy. And I'll be like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And how do you think I felt not knowing it was coming and just watching the tournament? I was like, yeah, they have beef, but I did not expect anything to the level of what happened.
Yeah.
And so that happened.
It's like some wrestling shit.
And then the internet exploded. Not just fighting games. You had Facebook posts on it of old little ladies going, why is this young man yelling at this short African-American person? Like, like it's just...
But
you have
it's
people
funny.
looking at it out of context, and then it's like, it actually just wasn't that big of a deal. I haven't heard about it since. Until
It's
just
funny.
now.
It's funny because if you see tournaments with Scar and Sonic Fox playing, they're super disrespectful to each other. Granted, they do it out of place of love. You know, they don't actually feel that way about each other. But like the minute they get on, like Sonic Fox will step up to the seat, and they'll look at Scar and like just straight up like middle finger, like
yeah, straight up. They'll walk off stage flipping each other off. And it's great.
But it's funny how
yeah, exactly.
But it's funny that they'll go and take something like this out of context, that far out of context, pardon me, but then they see that and not a word is spoken.
I think it goes back to the whole, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Thing.
For
you
sure.
know, like
also, like one of them is just like a hand gesture, like flip off, and it's like, oh, salt, who cares? And even people who don't play video games, they don't have the term salt in their vocabulary for that, but they get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's like,
oh,
for
that
example,
dude beat that dude.
Yeah.
if I was playing like around the areas, playing at like a local arcade or something over here, and I were just to go like stick my middle finger, I'm like, yeah, it's basically me saying fuck you. I might have a problem like right after this situation
you
just
might.
for saying that. You feel
I've
me?
seen pop-ups at in Chinatown Fair, like way
Yeah,
back when
exactly.
FIFA 4 was
Like-
a thing. Like that.
Like they would lose and be like, "I will like fuck you," and it's like, "I bet we doing
Step
this."
outside, yeah. Step outside, like throwing hands, like straight up. But that's because that's New York, you know. In New York,
Yeah,
we throw
true.
hands for anything.
I mean, recently at NLBC, not like a few months ago, they were playing Grand Blue,
Mm.
and
That fucking game.
and someone from the crowd was heckling. It was either Grand Blue or Dragon Ball, but someone in the crowd was heckling, and fists almost flew because of it. It was ruining the focus of the guy that it was heckling,
Yes,
and it was just not cool. So, like,
Oh my.
there's so many. Basically, like this whole thing is about the three pieces. Well, I guess the four pieces of a tournament, and it's the commentators, the viewers. No, I guess it's three: commentators, viewers, and competitors. Those are your three pieces, and everyone in that, in order to maintain,
maybe the sponsors if they're winning.
maybe the sponsors, but the sponsors don't really have an effect on. Well,
Right.
they have an effect indirectly on
The players.
how people act.
Yeah.
And if you aren't acting in a certain way, it's sometimes you can act in a way that's like not professional, but it's still cool.
Yeah, it's monetizable.
And people might have problems with that stuff. And like you have to live with that, but like most people are gonna be like, whatever, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. But then if you have people throwing crustaceans at pro players and fucking standing up and yelling at people and throwing dude, there was literally MK11 Summit. This is a thing that a lot of people don't talk about, but there's a player named Honeybee that was in the Summit, and him and Fox. I don't remember if it was over. I think it was over. I'm assuming some of you guys have probably watched like a Summit or two.
I've seen.
Yeah.
I've seen.
You know how they play fucking Mafia?
Right.
Honeybee got really mad at Sonic, I think over Mafia. Don't quote me on this. People in chat, don't fucking quote me on this. But I know that the next
welcome to
happened.
my life, dog.
right?
Welcome to my life, where I'm like, I think this happened. I'm not sure.
I'm
Don't
not
cook-
sure. I
don't
know that
cook
this
me in the
next bit
chat.
happened though, because Honeybee straight up squared Sonic Fox in the face with his fist.
What?
Like straight up punched him.
Nah, what?
That happened.
That's some
And
OG shit.
Honeybee, as a result,
I like
it was referred to as a conflict between two players, quote unquote.
Mhm.
As a result, Honeybee got kicked out because,
Yeah, hit somebody.
just hit someone.
Yeah,
And like
wild.
that's super. Like Summit obviously referred to it as a conflict between two players because they're not going to say on our watch someone punched someone in the face.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not going to say that.
You're gonna lose
Yeah.
sponsors over that.
Yeah, exactly. So like you have like that's another piece of it where it's like you need to act professional regardless of if you are a professional.
Yeah.
This is a concept that I feel like people have a really hard time with. It goes outside of fighting games.
Yeah,
It's
and like
in
just, you never
everyday
know.
life.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you never know. Like there's especially in a scene that's this social, somebody is literally always watching. Like you always have eyes on you.
Absolutely. I heard
then
about
that
like
person
I
has
heard about the
something.
conflict, and then I heard what actually happened
Yeah.
like a day after.
Yeah.
It was like that. It was there was no pause.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, he punched him.
So
And
I guess
like everyone's
that's
fine
a-
with it now
yeah,
for some
'cause
reason.
we've been going for a while.
Yeah, for
so-
sure.
I kind of just want to wrap things up now, because it's getting to be dinner time for my big.
Yeah. You get me talking about fighting games, I go.
Nah,
"Oh,
this is
I
really
apologize."
cool.
No, that's
This is
That was why we did
amazing
this.
podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's perfect. It's
But
right in the 2 hour
so
mark.
just one last minor point. Good job, thank you, Godric. So one just last smaller point to end on. Is the remaster worth full price?
I'm out. Okay,
No.
so I'm gonna end it.
Depends.
I'm gonna end the stream right here. Everybody has to go.
No.
I would like to say no because first you got to put into top. You have to like generalize it in its remake and remaster. If it's a remake, for example, you got this, Final Fantasy VII remake coming out. You had
RE2.
Resident Evil 2 remake and then Resident Evil 3 remake. Personally, Resident Evil 3 remake was not worth full price, but we're not going to get into that. But like a remaster, like you have like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Medieval, all of them like $30-$40 price point.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. That deserves to be that price point.
Gorgeous.
But then you have, like, for example, the Onimusha remaster. It was $20, thank God. But imagine that shit had come out $60 full price point.
Yeah.
I'd be livid.
Yeah, and this is like, and they get me every time, and they're gonna keep getting me.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But I've paid full price for Skyrim 4 times.
Oh my God, no, not you.
It's not worth it, bro.
Look, I got it with the Xbox 360 bundle, which is still the best way to play that game, in my opinion. That's not PC.
Like even better than VR.
Then I got
Okay.
Then I got then I got it on PS4 after I sold my Xbox 360. Oh no, PS3, the Legendary edition. Then I got the remaster on PS4, right? Then I got it on Switch. So I think it's pretty wild to charge full price for a 10-year-old tech. I think it's really, really insulting.
But you know what it is,
especially like but here's my thing, like it costs like remasters, okay, remakes, you have to start from the ground up. I totally get it,
because you're
but quote unquote remasters unquote, you didn't do any work. Like ask anybody. Hey, listen, Leo, I'm sure you know developers. Ask them. They will tell you the same fucking thing.
100%.
They will tell you the same fucking thing.
They're also going to tell you that Skyrim is one of the most torrented games ever. So they really didn't make a lot of money that they were supposed. They didn't make the money that, like, the projected sales that you think Skyrim.
Yeah.
No, this game is one of the most torrented like files on Earth, and that is why they're never going to lower that price.
And that's fair. However, they got my ass 4 times. So that's what the fuck.
Got you, bitch.
I feel for the developers, but for the people that bought it, those 3 other fucking iterations, and then to buy it now,
that's true.
It's a huge ass scam, bro.
If you can prove that you have the game, you should get a discount. But you guys literally did it to yourselves. By torrenting the game, you guys fucked it up. So it's not this has nothing to do with that.
It's the idea of like beating a dead horse. If the dead horse is still shitting out money, they're gonna keep hitting it. It's like in Animal Crossing. If it didn't stop giving me wood, I would never stop hitting A. Pressing the button until shit starts popping out.
It's another thing.
So,
they're updating that game really actively, by the way.
So the reason. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
No, I'm just saying that like they're constantly updating Animal Crossing. Like every issue, the community just like points out, they fucking patch it like instantly. Within
this morning, people were complaining about the fucking egg day shit.
They fucking
immediately.
They said that now we're not gonna ruin this momentum, and that's the mentality you need. Like, don't ruin what's already like an amazing experience.
But the reason
surplus eggs. Go ahead.
The reason I asked if a remaster is worth it is because excuse me. I want you guys' opinions or guesses, and the chat as well. How much do you think Super Mario 64 and Sunshine should cost on Switch?
Oh geez.
Oh Jesus.
All right, it depends. Are these things being remastered?
Yeah.
All right, see, Mario 64 was already remastered, put on the DS once. Right? I want that shit for 40 maximum. Maximum.
That seems like a lot to me.
What?
It is a lot.
For both.
It is a lot. Oh, 40 for both is good, but it depends on the graphic.
You got to remember, there are kids being born. You know, to this day, people are still being born. So that means there's still kids experiencing their first iteration of this game, which is probably going to be when it gets released.
Oh, wow.
And they have to pay exact full.
Wait, you mean to tell me there are children?
There are children. I don't know if you noticed.
That's crazy.
I don't know if you noticed. And if I had to pay full fucking price for Super Mario World,
oh god,
you best believe they're paying full price too. Fuck out of here.
Okay, hold on. So,
fuck out of here. It's a luxury that we're playing that game again because we want to, bro. This is for them.
That's evil.
No,
That's
no, no,
evil as hell.
no, it's not. No,
That is
You know
No,
what?
it's not.
evil.
You don't even listen to Leo. He will not buy anything until it's on sale 3 years
That
later.
is
All
that
right.
is
No,
That is
and
like,
then
you
on
know.
top of that, you gotta think about like inflation too, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Because $60 for Skyrim now
Nada, bro.
was not the same $60 in 2011. You know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
same thing can be said with the Super Nintendo. When that shit came out, my parents did not pay $299. They paid
Yeah.
almost $580 for that fucking console.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
consoles were expensive.
So it's
back
like
then.
it's relative. It's relative.
It's crazy to think that this amount of it. I mean, the games have been the same price for fucking ever.
Games
like-
are more flexible than ever, and games are cheaper than ever. That shit should
So-
come out full price.
Yeah.
I
So,
don't know, man.
should
No.
Link's Awakening have been $60? Was it?
No.
$60?
So,
Nah,
it
shit
was,
was
wasn't it?
$59.99, right?
Yeah, I think it was $60, and it. I mean, it didn't even deserve to.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah.
Listen, man. I am not a fan of paying more than $10.
It was $54.99, by the way.
Okay.
Oh God! Oh,
Oh.
come on.
Oh,
Yes, that-
fucking
the top
$60
That's what I'm
after
talking
tax.
about. That's what
Fucking
I'm talking about.
$60 after tax.
You
Is
guys
what
want
you're
to
telling
take
me.
a deduction?
I'm just not a fan of paying a premium on like 20-year-old tech,
Mine-
especially
mine-
especially Link's Awakening. Like Link's Awakening got a graphical overhaul, okay, but
Yeah.
at its core,
It's the
aside from the
same.
graphic, it's the same
You have to
exact
compare this multimedia. Okay, so let's say you are going on a date, bro. You're going to the movies, right? You're going to 42nd Street to watch a movie. You're gonna pay for your ticket and your date's ticket. That's $35 for a 2-hour experience. You can't tell me you're gonna pay $60 for over $100. Y'all bugging.
Leo,
This is the
Leo, you
consumer's
told me
issue.
you mastered-
This is the
Totally
consumer's
different
issue.
games.
Leo, you told me you mastered going on a date for $10. Shut up.
$5.60.
Wait, you guys go on
$5.67.
dates? What the hell?
Whoa, whoa! Don't put me on blast. Don't put
Wait
me
a minute, social distancing, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
The name of the podcast.
But I feel like depending on how overhauled the graphics are on Mario 64 and what was the other title?
Mario Sunshine.
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 Mario Sunshine. I will pay $40.
You know that's gonna
Like,
look
I-
pretty. I don't
for
know.
Mario-
You're kidding. You know that
For
game's gonna
Mario
look beautiful.
for Mario
As long as it
Sunshine
doesn't
in
look like
specific
Play-Doh.
for a graphics overhaul, I will definitely pay $40. Mario 64, it's a little different. That's a little different. Like maybe 30.
They're probably gonna add
Okay,
co-op,
if
and you're
they-
gonna
if
buy
they
it for
bundled it.
$60, dude. It's gonna be
Okay,
fine.
if they bundled it and it was two,
$120.
and we'll call it the Mario.
That's
we'll
not a
call it-
bundle. You're just buying two games.
Yeah,
It's more
no, that's a
convenient.
bundle. That's a bundle. Buy two bundle, right? So, right, if they bundle it together and just to piss me off, Nintendo calls it the Mario Essentials Collection, right?
Oh God.
Right?
Here we
Just
go.
to
Here
look,
we
just
go.
just to make my lips go like this, right? If they call it the Mario Essentials Collection and they bundle it, what's the most you would pay for both in one
$120.
cartridge or whatever?
$120.
70 max.
$70?
$70.
Max.
Oh.
50, dude. 25 a piece. That's me. I'm
But
Yeah,
you wanna-
ridiculous.
But
I mean,
listen, I'm giving you something
Yeah,
realistic because
you
do
guys-
y'all remember when they released on the fucking Wii the Mario? Oh, sorry, my bad.
Oh shit. What? Oh.
I carry. I'm a Puerto Rican with a foreign, with a foreign item on him. You feel me? Like, but yeah, the fucking Mario All Stars collection for the fucking Wii.
Right.
That
I don't
shit
know
was
if you
fire.
remember when
I
that came
remember
out.
That shit was fire.
That shit was fire, but that shit was also a full ass like $65.99.
It still
Yep.
is.
And it probably,
Oh, so
yeah.
it's probably more now, to be honest with you.
And you know
but,
why
like-
it's more? Because it's hard to find. This is why
Well,
when
yeah,
you buy
now.
a bundle, you won't have
Hey,
the struggle of finding that game.
Listen. It wasn't hard to find when it came out, and it was still fucking $66 upon release.
That was for the Wii, right? The
Academy
25
is
year.
$20 on the Switch.
Oh
I am
my
not spending more
God.
than $25 on a Mario game
Oh
that's
my
being remade. I do
God.
not care.
It's because
Like,
you're not.
nah.
There ain't. This is not for you guys. This is for the parents buying these games.
Oh
for their
shit!
kids.
It's for
This
it's
is
for
not-
us.
It's for everyone that owns a goddamn.
no-
It's for us.
There's
They're
no
never gonna.
executive
They're
sitting
never
in their
gonna meet.
office
They're
going
never
like,
gonna. No, come on. You're
The
telling
kids.
me they're not catering toward the ages 16 and more. You're crazy.
They're
You're
catering
crazy.
towards the
There's
ages
no.
of
You will not
20
find
to
a
like 35.
What? Listen.
To this day, I have no idea how Mortal Kombat made it to the Switch. Why? I have no fucking idea how that game got ported.
It's
into
called
the Switch.
licensing and money, and Nintendo liking money
Here's the
and
thing.
getting complaints that they didn't get any third-party fucking retailers on them.
There's the
With third-party developers.
Nintendo heard everyone's outcry about the Wii U, and they were careful not to make the same mistake twice, right? So third-party support on the Switch is better than it's ever been in Nintendo's entire history. But
100%.
Problem now.
it's the opposite problem now. It's that
They
there's
have
too
some
much.
garbage on that
Yeah.
console, dude.
It's because they're giving
There's too much,
indie
and-
developers the opportunity.
It's also really like a developer thing that I didn't know about. Like I asked, I'm like, yo, why is this game $40 on PS4 and it's fucking $50 on Switch? And then
Yep.
one of my friends who is
Do it.
working on a game as well.
The
Hey,
port.
one of my friends who's working on a game as well said, "Do you have any idea how annoying it is to develop
Thank
for a
you.
cartridge?"
People don't
For cartridge.
understand that each engine is a different source code. People don't get
Absolutely.
that. People don't get that. So that's why the fucking prices vary. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, man. It's like these. I think $60 for a game that you're gonna play more than 2 hours is incredibly cheap. I think
2 hours, bro.
do you understand how many hours it takes to make someone jump in a side-scrolling game? Like it's literally like it's
I don't.
It's
Nah,
like
I'ma
6
keep real with
hours.
you.
6 hours
Yo,
of your time. So
I
it's
feel
like,
you.
what the
They gotta get. You gotta get paid as a developer, and I hear you.
do, man.
But as a
You do.
consumer,
Yeah, it
I'm
has to be-
trying to stay alive, bro.
No,
Especially
it's
in a
definitely
market
the
that's
distributor-
full of games.
for sure. It's
Different
definitely the
games are coming out
distributors.
all the time.
It's definitely the distributors' like fault at this point. It's definitely Nintendo, PS4, and Xbox. They gotta fix this somehow. This oversaturation of indie and Switch is like
We need one super console.
PC.
The Stadia.
The PC.
Yo, speaking
Yo,
of game prices, real quick.
What I got it?
Before we end, I got some news for everybody in the chat and who's watches.
Oh my God,
Right now, on
congratulations.
PS4, Tekken is $10, Soul Calibur is $15, MK11 is $24,
Oh,
Dragon Ball Z Vanilla is $15, Cross Tag is $5, and Marvel MVCI is
whoa!
$10.
Blaze,
I've never seen
Blaze
that.
Blue Cross Tag
Al-
is $5.
Also,
$5.
all the
Cross
DLC.
tag is $5.
Cross tag.
$5.
What console?
Wanna die in 15 seconds? Buy cross tag.
Wait. I'm a.
Also, the DLC for DBZ is on sale. Also,
Wait, is this PS4 or PC? Or
PS4.
PS4.
Oh, I'm in there with cross tag.
Wait. We gotta head to HQ like now.
Yeah, let's go.
Fuck y'all, I'm out.
What? We gotta head to,
bubbles. Roll
I
out.
gotta buy all this shit like now.
We have to buy all those games.
Honestly.
Seriously.
Yo, just get all the information and buy it off of the site.
You can buy it on the computer. Just log into the account and buy it, and then we just.
Oh,
download
that's a
it.
good idea.
Okay, true. Yeah. I think I'm gonna
You
do
should
that.
have someone help you do that, so you can stream
Yeah,
on the process.
okay, so I guess to any final points, because here's the thing, I'm gonna buy it.
Bullshit.
That's
Yo,
like-
you're gonna buy it
I'ma buy the re-
even
I'ma
if they
buy
call
the
it
remaster.
collection.
That's the
I'm
thing.
gonna buy the.
And that's why
He got so mad
that's
so
why I
quick.
can't even get mad at Rainy, because this man's buying the damn bundles because they're not collections,
listen.
right?
I'm gonna buy the Mario.
Yes, you are. You
Trilogy?
You
Is
sure?
this
I'm
two
gonna
games?
I'm gonna
You sure?
I'm gonna
as hell
buy
are.
them. No matter what price they are, I'm gonna buy them.
That's what I want to hear.
Gonna-
Spread the word.
But
All right, chill out,
I'm gonna
Stevie
be
J.
really mad.
But I'm gonna.
I'm gonna
really
reluctantly
under-
give them my money at the register.
I'm gonna take this shit from you.
Yeah. Wow, I got it. Thank you.
Some things from the chats. Papa Rick said, like, look at the entitled Goose Game. Amazing game, by the way, indie game.
Also, I'll
It's
hear
definitely
that
worth the
and
price.
say, if you like Mega Man Battle Network, there's a game called
Yes. I forgot.
One
Step
Step
from
from Eden.
Yeah.
$20.
That shit is fire.
Is
It
it? I heard
is
it's hard.
straight fuego. It is hard. It is a roguelike RPG with elements,
Battle
platforming wise, of Battle Network.
Yeah.
Actually, this is perfect. Let's end this thing on game recommendations that are not Animal Crossing.
All right.
So, Will, what did you
Yeah,
say?
Will goes first.
On the Nintendo Switch or the computer, there's a game called PC. Pardon me. There's a game called One Step from Eden. It is a roguelike with Mega Man Battle Network elements.
Hate them.
Hate them?
I don't like roguelikes. They make my fucking eyes hurt. But I can
Wait,
see
do you know what a roguelike is?
Yeah.
What?
It's like a dungeon crawler, but
Yeah.
like you're constantly like you have to, if you stop you die.
Well, no, that's a dungeon element also with roguelike elements. Pardon me. That's a dungeon crawler with roguelike elements. Roguelike is just straight RNG with items and shit.
Basically,
Yeah.
a roguelite is where you
Yeah,
have,
like-
and this can
like,
be applied to like any kind of game. It's
Any
where
game.
you have. So like, there's even like ones that are like deck builders.
No, like
but
Enter the
essentially,
Gungeon. Like Enter
yeah,
the
that
Gungeon.
is a
Yeah,
roguelike,
but this one's specifically a
that's an isometric
deck
shooter.
builder.
So basically, roguelike, when like the core of what that idea is that you have your dude, right, and you go through a run and then you die, and then bam, you're dead, permadeath, and then you have to go on another one, that like to keep playing. And as you're doing this, you have during your run, you have that progress, and then as you're progressing in your runs, you are unlocking new items, unlocking new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just don't like the dungeon crawlers that are currently
I mean,
also roguelike.
No. I'm confusing genres. I'm confusing roguelike with bullet hell. Those
Yeah,
make
bullet
my
Enter the
eyes hurt.
Gungeon.
No. Enter the Gungeon is a bullet hell dungeon crawling roguelike.
Yep.
Okay, then
Jesus.
it hurt. It pains my corneas. I can't.
Okay.
But that's a
That's a
I
good
mean, I might
recommendation.
But
try
yeah,
that
One
shit.
Step from Eden.
Really
Highly
Yeah.
recommend it.
Wow, what
Leo,
about,
Leo,
let's go
did you
down the
say-
line.
Oh no, I'm saying
Wait,
that's a really good recommendation. The one that
Oh.
Will.
Wait, boy, what'd you say?
No, so what was the name of your recommendation, Will?
One Step from Eden.
One Step from Eden. Okay.
I don't know how much it costs on PC. Probably the same, but it's $20 on the Switch currently.
Yeah. Yeah. Any recommendations from you, boy?
If you haven't played One Strike on the Switch, that's my best recommendation.
That's a good game. I played it.
It's
Yeah.
literally a one-hit kill fighting game. Very low res,
Yep.
but very very fun. Multiple characters, all kind of like feudal. I want to say like feudal Japan or feudal China era kind of themed.
Dope.
That's the only thing I'm not playing right. The only games I'm playing right now aside from Animal Crossing is Monster Hunter for the first time and that.
Oh,
The steep learning curve
yeah.
in that game.
Are you-
Yeah,
my
that's
are you
kinda
friends-
like
playing- Are you playing on Switch or PlayStation?
what Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm playing on PC actually.
Oof.
Ah, shit. There's
Yeah,
still no.
No cross
Crossplay or anything?
Crossplay.
Yeah, I was hoping with that, but
What a
literally
power level,
somebody bought it for me on PC, so they were like, here's a great intro.
Oh, that's
Never
cool.
played Monster Hunter before.
It's
It's
good.
kind of tedious, but
It is
it's good.
tedious. It's grindy,
Yeah.
but it's good. It's satisfying.
Straight
But
grindy.
if I had to recommend a game, I'd say One Strike, just because it's kind of mind-numbing in a sense. I kind of just like been trying to catch up on Netflix stuff too, so like I'll put it on and just have the Switch in my hand and just be
Sure.
running.
Nice.
This and that.
Someone in the
Yeah,
chat
I'd say
said,
One
Bojack said, learn footsies with that game.
Yeah, basically that's because I have my biggest problem, and I've actually been watching a couple of CrzyFinger videos. Is like my problem with plateauing and just my problem with trying to level up in Tekken and Dragon Ball. So when I'm not watching videos on that, I'm just kind of practicing footsies in One Strike.
That makes me so happy, dude. I'm glad you like it.
Oh.
No, yeah, I love your plateau video. It's actually really great. So yeah, keep doing that.
That's
Yeah. Wait, Leo, did you give your
Oh
recommendation?
no! There's this game that like you can play with like Gohan and Zero for Mega Man. It's like this game of games. I forgot what the name. It's a fighting game.
Project X Zone?
No, it's called Super Smash Brothers. I recommend it to everyone because it's the game of all games. And if you haven't played already, please play and add me.
I told y'all. He only know one game.
Cool. Thanks, Leo.
He said, "Cool."
I've never heard of that game, and I'm definitely gonna look it up.
Must be an indie game.
Zero's in it.
Anyway,
Shadow.
Who's the developer?
anyway, Jacob. Any game recommendations, man?
I'm a giant Souls shill, so play Bloodborne.
Bloodborne is so
if you
good.
have a PS4 and you haven't
Bloodborne.
played, I don't care if you've never played Dark Souls or Sekiro or whatever. Play Bloodborne.
Yep.
That
Bloodborne
shit.
is
I'm gonna
a
frame
Dark Souls
it
game.
as you are a guy in in a gothic realm where you are killing werewolves, and I'm not saying anything else. If you played the game, you know why.
Right.
Fucking play Bloodborne.
It's scary,
It's
by the
one
way.
of the richest worlds you will ever step foot into. It's so good. I love that shit.
It's also super cheap on PlayStation 4, so
It's super
check that
cheap on PlayStation 4.
I actually think they gave it
And
out
it's so
because I
fun
think
to
I got
watch
it from
the
I think I got
speedruns.
it from PlayStation Plus 1 month. I don't know.
No.
No, yeah, it was free.
What?
It was free on PS Plus once,
Yeah, I
I
definitely
think,
got it.
because I own it somehow. I fucking hate Soulsborne games, so it must have been free somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I must have fucked up and bought
That's a
it.
great point that Black Sheep made in the chat, and this is the point that I have as far as your little Smash recommendation, and it's that I am not playing Smash on Wi-Fi under any circumstance.
Oh my god!
And Nintendo's
My
stupid because you have to buy a
God,
specific
bro.
Ethernet adapter.
I don't
in
know
order for
how
it to
that
work,
game
and
has
I'm
the
not-
worst netcode
And there's
in
still
history.
latency on that, bro.
It's
there's
like
still
it's
latency.
like
It doesn't make any sense.
it got worse. It got worse from 4. Right? Like the netcode got worse.
Yo, just a PSA to Bandai Namco: get your shit together,
God damn.
please and thank you. Between Tekken and fucking Smash Brothers, get your goddamn Wi-Fi situation to
Everybody's going
fucking
through
get.
that right
I mean, Dragon Ball 2 also has terrible
They all
netcode.
do. Yeah,
Horrible.
Everybody's is going through it
Yo,
right now. But I think it's just
follow
because of the sheer
suit.
volume.
Like I don't
Follow suit
understand.
with Arc System. They
Seriously,
do a rollback.
Thank
They
you.
do
How
a rollback.
is a game that can only that supports literally 2 players in a like you're telling me massive multiplayer online games can get the online right for 1,000+ players, but a game where you only need 2 people on the screen at the same time. That's
Well, 4
it.
people.
I understand that MMOs aren't real time inputs.
yeah.
Okay, fine. I get that. You know, it's like it's kind of a little bit asynchronous, whatever that word is. But fucking fighting games, come on! It's only 2 people. I don't understand why that's so hard.
You know who doesn't have a problem? Dive Kick.
Also, Killer Instinct, fucking MK11.
Oh my god!
I've been
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
I've been recommending this game to these guys for like days now, but no one ever listens to me
Bro,
until
I copped it. I beat it.
no one listens to
I
me.
made it.
I'm bringing my jersey.
If you say Death Stranding, I'm logging out of this.
If you say the
right
Ninja
the fuck
Puppy,
now.
if you say Ninja Puppy, I'm bringing my jersey and making
No,
you wear it.
no one listens to me. By the way, Jacob, this happens all the time.
Here
No
we
one
go.
listens to
Here
me
we go.
until hold on.
I don't want to
No one
play
listens
Skyrim,
Here we
Rainy.
go.
until they see it somewhere else, and then they recommend it to me.
Oh my god, that happens so much! Oh my god, dude, I feel. Fuck, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that.
Months
Oh my
later,
god, you
they'd
just
be like, "Yo,
some
you should
eldritch
play this."
level memories just poured from my head just now.
Bro.
Good god.
So anyway, yeah, play Dogarai.
Oh
Dogarai?
my god.
Yeah, Dogarai. So when I bought it, it was $2.50
Is it still
in
there?
the Switch Online store.
Is it on
Hopefully,
multiplayer?
hopefully it still is. No, it's a single. It's if you've played the Game Boy Color port of Mega Man X called Mega Man Extreme, it looks exactly like that, but in classic Game Boy graphics.
That's
And-
fair.
That's cute.
And a fun fact, it's
I like
the
that black
exact-
light.
like pixel for pixel, the exact same aspect ratio as the original game.
I seen
Okay.
this recommendation on I think Kotaku.
Yeah,
Dogarai.
I know
Okay.
some guy named.
So-
Yo, the music slaps.
yeah, dude. Look at it. Look, you play as this little ninja dog, and you fucking slide all over the place, and you got a little sword, and you're and you're like a ninja. It's hard to do
And
this
like you're a ninja?
because it's mirrored.
Dog.
But yeah, and you're a dog.
But he's
Oh
a
shit!
dog.
It's $2.49 in the store right now.
Yo,
It's
it's like
$2,
you're a
bro.
ninja.
You cannot
a
go
dog.
wrong if you like platformers like Mega Man X and stuff. You can legit get through this entire game in an hour,
Let me
and
go-
it's $2.50.
Also,
Let me go
also,
torrent this
just
real quick.
another PSA. Fuck Mega Man 8 through 10. Fuck Mega Man X3.
You hear me,
I've been-
Capcom?
You hear me, Capcom? Well, no, I can't even blame Capcom for X3 because they ain't the ones that developed it. But fuck them all anyway.
Yeah.
Alright.
So
Alright,
I
bro,
guess
you want to sign us out?
yeah. So that brings this very long episode to a close.
Thank you
My
so much.
phone is incredibly hot right now. I'm surprised it didn't turn off on its own.
Because we're supplying the heat.
Yeah.
Hey.
But thank you guys so much. This has been super
Wait,
great.
wait, wait! You want to switch chairs real quick so I can ice you out? See, I learned a new term today.
I'm really tired. I'm so sick of this guy. But thank you guys so much. My name's Rainey. That's Will holding the peace signs up. That's boy in the white tee.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you, big boy. In 1 second. This has been Jacob Messer, also known as CrzyFingers with no A in his Twitter. He is from Hawley, Pennsylvania. He's joining us to talk fighting games. Thank you so much. My baby boy is tired. I'm gonna make him a bottle
Bye,
of milk.
Godric.
Thank you so much on the stream, yo, Papa Rick, Onyx, RJ, everyone else.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thank you
tuning
guys
in.
so
Everybody who
much.
locked in, Brandino. Appreciate you guys for pulling up.
Chris Senpai,
Yeah.
good luck with that. Oh wait, good job.
Later,
Whatever.
guys.
Bye. Good job with the
Say
Modern
bye,
Warfare tournament. Bye.
Say bye, guys.
Yo, wait, bye, Godric. Oh my God, you so cute. I'm gonna end the stream.